We welcome you to Toyota Arena in Ontario, California for a presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV and KVCR PBS. Tonight, our Play with Heart matchup features the visiting Utica City Football Club taking on the Empire Strykers. Good evening, everybody. My name is Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, alongside my broadcast partner, the coach, Artie Kyrell. This is a huge matchup for both teams. This season, the top 6 teams in the MASL get to compete in the playoffs. For the Empire Strykers and Utica City FC, they're on the outside looking in. Utica City is 5 points behind the Empire, but with 2 games in hand, Artie, this is an incredibly important matchup for both clubs.
Both clubs, both teams are in the game, every game, all game. Utica coming off a 4 overtime contest, tight games all across the board, competitive against the top 4, Strykers competitive against the top 4. Here's a game of separation. Unfortunately, it's separation at the bottom, but somebody's got to move up and somebody's got to stay down.
For Utica City, their record is not indicative of how good they are. 4 contests within a goal. This season, they are led by their sophomore sensation, Sergio Jr. Pinal, who almost has as many points this season as he did in all 18 games last season. And, of course, Cuban futsal international Barbaro Chalier. For the Empire Strykers, on the other hand, they're practically hot and cold. Yes, no, in, out, up, down, yes. That was a Katy Perry song. This is a team that the last time we got to see them defeated the Kansas City Comets, defeated the San Diego Sockers, won on the road against the Tacoma Stars. But this is a team that really has a Jekyll and Hyde-like performance.
Indeed, coming off a very unfortunate road trip, putting themselves in this situation. Utica's behind by 4, but have 6 points in hand. So again, it's going to take heart tonight. Who has the bigger heart? Because there's a lot riding on this game early in the season. We're at the midway point, and we're running out of games. It's tough to say, but the games are getting tight.
Keep an eye on sophomore sensation for the Empire, Munir Alami, who's leading the team in scoring, and Walter Diaz-Gonzalez, and, of course, Mexican international Marco Fabian. Folks, we've set the table for you. We are going to step aside. Kickoff on the other side of the... We're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV and KVCR PBS. Play with heart.
National Core, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion. This is your Empire.
Wait, 6 miles, runway 26 right, on.
When your heart needs a helping hand, you want the best, most advanced treatment available. We know there's strength and expertise. That's why for over 50 years, we've been a trusted provider of heart and vascular care in the region, specializing in minimally invasive surgical techniques, from treating infants born with heart defects to performing complex endovascular procedures. Our specialists are here to support strong, healthy hearts. Loma Linda University International Heart Institute. Many strengths, one mission.
1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show.
The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. We'd also like to extend a warm welcome to our viewers tuning in on KVCR PBS. Mitre, the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Mitre is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear.
Next bets. Think you could predict the MASL? Well, head on over to nxtbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. And last and certainly not least, the Major Arena Soccer League is proud to be collaborating with the American Heart Association to present Play with Heart Month. Visit heart.org to learn how you can support heart health. And speaking of heart health, I want to give an extra special shout out to my mother-in-law back in Indiana, Cindy Bauman, who just recently had open heart surgery. Proud to say that she's back on her toes, and we sincerely thank all the doctors, cardiologists, and of course my wife, Amanda Phileman, who was my mother-in-law's nurse. Shout out from Ontario. We love you. Artie, I am fired up. Gina Rai, our Star-Spangled Anthem singer, got the arm hairs on my forearms rising, and if that's not going to get you excited, an anthem like that, I don't know what is. Let's look at our starting lineup.
Looking at the top for Empire Strykers, you got Anthony Powell and Munir Alami, Walter Diaz in the middle, Justin Stinson, Steven Chavez on the edges, and then Brian Orozco in the goal.
For Utica City, Gio Alves, Manny Silva. We welcome back Willie Spur, Juan Alava, Junior Pinal, and in between the sticks, Brian Wilkin. For the Utica City fans tuning into this broadcast, we want to say thank you so much for staying up this late. Utica City, some of the best fans in the Major Arena Soccer League. Also happy to announce that you potentially will be seeing Nilton DeAndrade for the first time as we are underway under the beautiful bright lights of Toyota Arena. It's the Strikers taking on Utica City. As we mentioned in the top of the broadcast, not an extensive history between these two teams. 7th meeting all time. Strikers lead the series 4-2. Last season, Utica City would come into the Empire and defeat the Strikers by a score of 9-6. Both teams on the outside of that playoff party line looking to pick up a win today, and a much important one. Utica City only 5 points behind the Empire Strikers, but with 2 games in hand, a win today would be massive for the boys from upstate New York as Justin Stinson fires one, saved by Wilkin.
Looking forward to an exciting goalkeeper duel tonight. Both goalkeepers can come forward and score. Both are very athletic, as we can see here. It's going to be a fun night, Philly.
Yeah, we saw Wilkins score just a couple of days ago. Brian Orozco of the Empire Strikers also very capable of scoring, and that's the beauty of this sport. The goalkeepers can score. It's not the rarities like you would see the Tim Howards of the world score goals in the outdoor game. Keepers very much a part of the excitement and the action here on the turf.
That was a pretty cheeky outside of the foot hit from Wilkin as well. It's quality.
There we see Walter Diaz Gonzalez kicking it over to his captain, Robert Palmer. And there we see Marco Fabian, the Mexican international legend, gets dispossessed by Shalir. Rashad Amadi off the wall, and there's Diaz Gonzalez breaking it up. Alava over to Amadi. While a score opportunity, and Orozco nabs that one as Shalir was robbed of a parent goal. Brian Orozco with the heads-up play.
Very good play across the board. There's that goalkeeper stuff I was telling you about.
That one gets elevated into the air and into the stands.
You can see already Utica is going to take advantage of that first panel and just do the wall of score. It was very effective there, and I would imagine a lot of the East Coast use it a lot more frequent than the West Coast, so we'll see how this plays out.
And we see Nilton DeAndrade wearing the number 10 back into the lineup. It took me by surprise, as we haven't seen DeAndrade all season. He only scored 25 goals and had 9 assists last season. A very important part of Coach Everton Moreira's lineup as as the Strikers try to bat it out of the danger zone. That was cued Lawal, only playing in a handful of games for the Strikers, recently signed as a free agent from the Milwaukee Wave. Qudus Lawal had an impact just a couple of games ago. That one's going to come off of Alan Perez. Cole Stevens on the restart. Utica City, 11 games played, 3 wins, 6 losses, 2 overtime. But this is a team that their record not indicative of the amount of talent they have. Empire Strykers on the run is Mansoray leading the charge. Goes over to Lawal. Mansoray finds a shot, and Abdul Mansoray scorches the back of the net from turf to twine. Empire goes up 1-0.
Talking Wallace scorer, there you go. Just a little self-pass. I don't know if it was intended or not, but you saw him just continue running forward, expecting the return pass, but it just came to him and right back to him. So here he goes, just attacking, going right at the defender, forcing the two. Just out of the reach, but thank you very much. Volley goal.
Abdul Mansoray nets his 6th goal of the season, now 7 points in this 25-26 MASL campaign. Mansoray here in his 5th year in the MASL. Spent his entire career with the Empire club as Stinson shot ricochets right off of Gio Alves. Steven Chavez over to Felipe Dutra, who just recently celebrated his 1st goal for the Empire Strykers and in the Major Arena Soccer League. Polo Hernandez also did the same thing a couple of games ago as Brian Orozco, goalkeeper for the Empire Strykers, right around that midfield here in his 4th season in the MASL out of Guatemala City and Riverside, California. Riverside being the 4th most populous city in the great state of California. There we see Ali Somo, along with his brother Isak, came in from upstate New York. Somo's attempt gets batted out by Alava. Fun fact for you, the last time these two teams met was about 13 months ago. It'd be Utica City that would get the win. Isak Somo would score in that game as a member of Utica City. Utica City wearing the whites, Empire Strykers wearing the black jerseys. Strykers up by a score of 1-0 here in these early moments. Strykers, as we've seen several times this season at home, anytime they could score first, they're a pretty tough team to stop here at Toyota Arena.
Just very much wanted to say a phrase there, because Utica's had to travel back-to-back, and they had a terrible travel back from Tacoma. I mean, it's still, I don't know, the travel just wearing on them. So the running is just excellent work.
Look at Brian Orozco finding his way out of trouble, getting by Junior Pinal, connecting with Justin Stinson. So we see Willie Spur on the turf. Willie Spur was once a member of this franchise when they were called the Ontario Fury. As he was tracking back against Orozco, gave me that PTSD moment of when he and San Diego Soccer's goalkeeper Boris Pardo collided. That would end Willie Spur's year, as he would end up with a significant injury that would take him out for the rest of the year. And it's great to see Willie Spur back playing out of Seattle, Washington, here in his 5th season in the MASL. First year, of course, with Utica City. Orozco, who's been known to score from that angle, fires it and puts an extra bit of too much hot sauce on that attempt, as that sails right over Wilkin for a goalkeeper restart.
Saw Wilkin get in that ready position very early. He wasn't going to have any of that from distance for sure. He was prepared.
Andrade looking to connect with Shalier. Shalier, the 2nd leading scorer on Utica City. Teixeira over into the right. And there's an opportunity in that upper corner. Utica City with the answer. Kyle Genrich with the score. And it is now 1-1.
Both goals opportunistic. Little miss from their teammates, bouncing to a fortuitous finish. But I mean, that's the game, I mean, you just got to take advantage of the chances that you get. So the ball's going to bounce here off the boards and off players. It's what makes the game beautiful.
And we're not even 5 minutes into the first quarter. We're barely 5 minutes into the first game of Nilton DeAndrade's return, and already contributing significantly with an assist for that first goal. Utica City FC fans have missed this young man. Such an important part, and he's part of that incredible contingent out of players coming out of Cape Verde. Nilton DeAndrade getting himself a point. Genrich getting himself a goal. And we are knotted up 1-1.
Big moment now for the Strykers. They've got to create a chance here. Utica's already had 3 chances on goal. So, you don't want to get in that shootout. Just dictate the tempo. Use the travel against them. You're at home. Get a chance to run like the first goal, go at it. But this is big possession here for the Strykers.
Genrich gets his 3rd goal of the season, his 5th point out of Suffolk County, New York. Comac, New York, for that matter. Further out there in the island, 2nd year at UCFC. Played SUNY Oswego, where he was a captain. And he gets his 1st goal in this game. And the 1st goal for Utica is that one comes right off of number 8, Toy Tavares. Toy out of Boston, Massachusetts.
So are we going to get to your stomping grounds through these New York references, Philly?
Well, can't say anybody is. I would say Genrick is probably the closest, coming out of Comac, New York. That's Long Island. I'm, of course, from Queens, New York. As Perez fires it, bangs right off of the plexi, rebounded by Fabian, gets it taken away. And Tavares puts on the brakes. Goes over to Alava. Utica City trying to advance it across the midfield. Excellent pass into Junior Pinal. Pinal, the pass and the goal. What an excellent counter by Utica City, as the goal is going to get credited to Emmanuel Belliard. Junior Pinal with the assist, and just within the blink of an eye, Utica City, after being down by a score 1-0, have now regained the lead 2-1.
Just moving the ball eloquently. I can't say it any better. Just moving the ball, committing the defender, allowing it, playing into space, and attempting goal. I mean, Pinal, that left foot of his, it's trouble. Brian came out early to try to suppress any finishing chance, but he just patiently played the ball across to a runner.
Had the honor and privilege of chatting with Junior Pinal earlier today on the show that we record called Inside the Arena. If you tune in to Empire Strykers broadcast, you've heard me mention it a couple of times. First episode should be released within the next couple of weeks. It'd be with Danny Waltman, but we did talk with Junior Pinal, who's out of San Jose, California. He's got 12 to 15 members of his family in the stands tonight. And Utica City fans, Timmy Goldman is also in the house here at Toyota Arena. Got to chat with him. He's really excited talking about his new career working for FIFA. So that pass comes into Shalier. Defended by Palmer. Palmer, multi-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Major Arena Soccer League. Thwarts the effort of the Cuban international futsaler. Empire Strykers, of course, have their own Cuban international futsaler in that of Walter Diaz Gonzalez. Known as Walter Diaz Pryor, adding the Gonzalez in just to show and pay respect to the entire family. Steven Chavez, who's really picked up his offensive prowess playing for Empire. 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. Had 10 goals and 10 assists playing with the Texas Outlaws last season. Pass into the corner is Mansoret, hungry for a second goal. Wilkin comes out, bats it off the wall. And it comes right to Chavez. Chavez into Orozco. Back over to Chavez. Strykers looking to spread Utica City's defense as that pass comes into Mansoret. Tries to find Chavez in on the left side. Teixeira makes the play. And we have a whistle down on the turf.
He's down pretty good. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's screaming like something happened. Something not good. Like clipped on the ankle maybe? Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little twist. You see that?
And it looks like they're calling for the trainer.
Yeah, it had a little twist to it. Got the look kind of late, but it looked like he kind of tweaked it a little bit there.
And while trainer's tending to the Utica City player, we are going to head into a media timeout here, folks. 7 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It is Utica City FC leading the Empire Strykers by a score of 2-1. More action for you back on the other side of this break. You are watching the MASL on MASL TV and KVCR PBS.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
For 30 years, National Core has been transforming lives, building communities where our residents and neighbors can thrive, and providing homes for your Empire Strykers. Affordable, high quality, secure housing. National Core, home of the Empire Strykers.
small, runway 26 straight, cleared on.
Just coming in with Artie's insights here for the Strykers. Need for speed, dynamic mentality on tack. We saw that on the goal, just running forward, 2 players going forward and control target play. For Utica, get targets involved early using press to the advantage. Strykers like to press, so if they can find that entry pass to the targets to break it, that'd be a great situation. And then close out close games. They've gone to 4 overtimes already. Everything's been close. The end of regulations kind of caught them a bit. So we're seeing them play out already. So it's going to play it out even more, I imagine.
It's amazing how everybody's starting to use all the AI out there to get all their answers to their questions. And we got our own variation of an AI called Artie's Insights. Folks, coming back from the break, it was Steven Teixeira who was helped off of the turf by the trainers. And the way he hobbled, not entirely sure if he's going to make his return into the ball game. So keep your eyes on that. Steven Teixeira here in his first year in the MASL. Actually had his first goal against Baltimore back on January the 4th. So we wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully nothing too serious, but he didn't walk off the turf on his own accord. He had to get helped off as a result of the collision in the corner. So we have a whistle blown on the turf. That being said, MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Ali Soma spins around in the midfield, gets dispossessed, but gets taken down. The official's going to blow the whistle for a foul. Quick restart by the Strykers.
Utica came to play tonight. That's a big hit right there and a big hit earlier on Brian. They're ready to go.
Utica City on a 3-game losing streak, which has been the longest of the campaign. Stinson over to Isak Somo, formerly of Utica City. And on the top of the broadcast, we did mention that he scored against the Strykers as a member of the Blue and White back last December. Utica City leading Empire by a score of 2-1. And Artie, they got fire. They were starting to fire off on all cylinders relatively quickly. Wasn't that much time in between their 2 goals.
No, they had chances early on. Like I said, the sequence just prior to the goal was very important for the Strykers. So the Strykers really got to set situations where they can run a little bit. But you kind of see the pinch here. Very difficult to go at that because of the double team. So, Everton's a good coach, man.
Good coach, and today a very well-dressed coach. I was expecting him to be in a polo and a hat, but he comes into the City of Angels, starting to look very Hollywood in his attire. Everton Moreira.
Surely he'll appreciate that.
A legend in the game as a player and trying to solidify himself as a legend in the coaching ranks.
I had the opportunity to work with him at the Combine when I was with the Strykers on the first Combine. I mean, what a great gentleman, ambassador of the sport.
Goal is open as Willie Spur knocks it in. Bottom left corner, where the dust mites dwell. Utica City, a commanding 3-1 lead here in the first quarter. Willie Spur, upon his return back to the Inland Empire, finds the back of the net. 3-1, Utica City.
We've said it before. You can't lose the ball at your feet. As you're dribbling the ball, people are moving off it, going away from the goal you're defending. You lose the ball at your feet, and the counter is just on. And the way the Strykers play, it's just an easy set and go. Very good press. Press defending. Very simple finish. Just cannot lose the ball at your feet, youngsters. It's just a death knell.
With the way Willie was operating, it was the defense that had their spurs caught on the turf. Willie having himself a heck of a season, by the way. One of his best in the Major Arena Soccer League. Safe to say that he's found himself a nice home in the Northeast. Willie Spur now getting his 7th assist of the campaign, 11th point of the year. Anthony Powell over to Alan Perez. Perez, couple of games where he's beaten the game clock down to the wire. Had that goal, incredible goal recently on the Strykers' trip to the Midwest and the Northeast. There we see Junior Pinal. Pinal having a great sophomore season. 12 goals, now to go with 10 assists. He had 24 points last season. He's got 22 now. Fabian clearing some space. Fabian's shot gets blocked by Wilkin. And Gio Alves blasts it off the plexi. Look at the touch by Somo, connecting in with Polo Hernandez. Hernandez, Polo to Marco. There's a fun connection for you. Fabian, 3 World Cups with Mexico. Won a trophy with Eintracht Frankfurt, the Pokal, which is the equivalent of the U.S. Open Cup or the FA Cup in Germany. As Schalier adding pressure to Orozco. Ball comes in, Gio Alves recovered, and there's a shot in the upper corner. Top shelf. Uncle Franz, you keep that good schnapps there. Alan Perez continues to pad his stats, and the Strikers cut into this lead. It is now 3-2.
One thing about Alan, he's opportunistic, hardworking, and if you find it, he's going to put it away, and that's exactly what he did. Just hard work there, finding the right, ball finding him in the right spot. So you're just against the boards again, losing the ball at your feet. You got to play that away, bounces out, and he just hits it home. Focused on the technique, just buried it. So we got a shootout, Philly.
5 goals this season for Alan Perez here in his 5th year in the Empire. Out of Los Angeles, California. Van Nuys, if you're keeping track of it. And we've had 5 goals already, and we're not even past the first quarter. That's the beauty of indoor soccer to all our new viewers and listeners, for that matter, listening on the radio.
Part of the change there was when Ant toe poked the ball away from Pinal, as Pinal was in front of him going out, that reverse toe poke, and it just kind of changed the flow of the game. So excellent work by the Strikers there and making them pay for it.
Manny Silva with plenty of room to operate, saved by Orozco. Manny Silva, one of 3 players out of Utica City, out of Cape Verde. And who would have thought Cape Verde would have had such a pipeline into the Major Arena Soccer League between Manny and, of course, Nilton DeAndrade. A lot of talented players on this Utica City FC team coming out of Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, that's just north of Chile Verde, huh?
Not quite, Artie. Not quite.
The dad joke had to come out once, man. At least. Follow that, Philly.
I mean, listen, I'm rarely at a loss for words, but you certainly took the wind out of my vocal sails. Let's just put it that way.
Gotta stay on your toes, bud.
Oh, yeah. Now I really have to pay some attention. And speaking of paying attention, there's Nilton DeAndrade paying attention to Justin Stinson, the Stinger, who's gone back to the bleach hair as he gets dispossessed and recovers it. Stinson rarely will get dispossessed, and there's DeAndrade, who picks Stinson's pocket.
The carpet monster got him, Philly, I think.
The carpet monster, the turf monster, the terrible turf, whatever you want to call it. Stinson showing that display of sportsmanship. Him and DeAndrade, a history being teammates, also having played with the United States indoor soccer team in many of the exhibitions that we've had. That one gets through. Wilkins' attempt over to Pinal. Pinal, that target forward. Berto Palmer on him. The back heel pass. Cleaned up by Perez into Munir Alami, who is our player of the match. We have an interview that we did with Munir Alami.
That was a great exit pass from, was that Dutra? Just the texture and little bend to get out and just using the pace of his teammate. Beautiful footy.
Your proverbial cliche saying of threading the needle. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Utica City FC still leading the Empire Strykers by a score of 3-2. 5 goals within this first quarter. As Palmer, the captain of the Empire Strykers, connects in with Guatemalan international Brian Orozco. Anthony Powell, El Leon out of Texas, fighting for it. Powell also one of the Strikers' leading scorers. 6 goals on the season. Willie Spur over to Genrick. The pass into Amadi. He's got Schalier over to Genrick as he tries to tap it past Orozco. Chavez belts it into Fabian. Fabian using the wall. Amadi. Some pinball back and forth action between both teams as the Strikers come back up with it.
Both teams wanting to go with energy. That's awesome, though. Just a little half step away from it breaking that pressure.
Both teams hungry for that dub. Both teams come in with losing streaks. Strikers on a 2-game losing streak. Utica City on a 3-game losing streak. There's Orozco with plenty of room to operate as we are under a minute to go here in this first quarter. Hernandez over to Fabian. Polo to Marco. Marco over to Diaz-Gonzalez. He took away from that Marco Polo connection there. Diaz-Gonzalez, 7 goals, 3 assists this season. Perez. If you're looking at that clock set to expire, Perez is the man you need to mark, as he has scored 2 goals this season, has the game clock set to expire. Fabian over to Perez, back to Polo. Polo in that midfield, under 20 to go, defended by Shalier. Perez finds himself with some space. Taken away by Alava. He still sticks with it, under 10 to go. Strykers still trying to press, still trying to fire one off. Ball is loose, Polo with 3 seconds to go. Polo fires it, and Marco finds his Polo. Polo Hernandez to the bottom right corner as the game clock was set to expire. 3-3.
A little backbreaker there for Utica, but what a fantastic finish. Strykers making a living at these last second goals. You know, just coming in. You just saw him kind of coming in, coming across body. Just right here, you know, you got to just think, kill the game right here. Kill the half. You can't give the ball away in the middle of the park. Middle of the floor, just a little touch. Just set up touch there. Get the goalkeeper set. Boom, hit it.
Gets himself past Murshad Ahmadi to that bottom right corner, and the Strykers in their 3rd game this season have managed to score before the game clock expires. We're sending it to break 3-3 here live from Toyota Arena.
Hello, Empire Nation. I am Martina Sellers, the CEO of Marcel Wellness Center, and I am so excited to announce this amazing partnership with the Empire Strykers on Score a Lunch with a Striker.
So the students can qualify. We have 3 pillars. So for their academics, their character, and their perseverance. All right, kids, so work hard so that you can get those entries in. Maybe you'll get to meet Coach Al.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. I hope to see you guys at the game.
Corky's Homestyle Kitchen and Bakery, where good food and good feelings come standard. Our team serves up an array of made-from-scratch, homestyle favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with fresh-baked goodies straight from the oven. Inspired by Grandma Corky herself, every dish is made with the freshest ingredients and a heaping helping of love. Her spirit lives on in every bite, filling more than just your belly. It fills your heart, too. So come join our family here at Corky's, where friendly faces, honest cooking, and quality food are just the way we do things.
KVCR invites you to an exciting night of soccer and community at Toyota Arena on Thursday, February 19th, as the Empire Strykers host KVCR Partner Theme Night against the Baltimore Blast. Connect with KVCR, celebrate public media, and experience the energy of professional soccer in the Inland Empire. Scan the QR code on your screen to claim your free tickets, or visit kvcr.org/strikers for more information.
Today in America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, we are changing lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
Welcome back to Toyota Arena, folks. The officials have gone to the monitor just to see whether or not Polo Hernandez was able to beat the clock. There you see it on your screen. And yes, with 0.2 of a second left, as per the game clock on our instant replay, that looks to be a good goal. If the officials come back and declare it so, that'll be the 2nd goal of the season for Polo Hernandez. Just waiting on that official verdict here. But while we do that, Artie, let's pay some bills.
Loma Linda University Health and the Inland Empire Strykers have come together to support our community with the shared focus on health and fitness. The partnership reinforces both organizations' commitment to helping families thrive on and off the field. Together, we aim to build a stronger, healthier future for our Inland Empire region.
All right, folks, in case you didn't hear that at home, it's official. The goal is good. So it's 3-3 here in the first quarter. 6 goals in the first 15 minutes. If the first quarter is any indication as to the type of game that we're going to have today, we're in for some fireworks tonight, baby.
So are we still 0.2 seconds left remaining in the first quarter? I mean, that's the way it should be, correct? But I think he said we're going to go to the second quarter kickoff.
Well, you are the coach. But with that being the case, got some bills to pay here. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and CBS Sports Golasso Network. Alex Boshkovansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. And once again, as part of the Play with Heart Month commemorative. All right, pardon me, let's start that again. As a part of Play with Heart Month commemorative, there's a team-signed armband that will be available for auction at MASLsoccer.com with the proceeds benefiting the American Heart Association. Folks, I apologize for that read right there. I Ron Burgundied it, read it the way it was given to me, but once again, just to reiterate, those armbands are going to be signed by our players, and they're going to be available for auction with the proceeds benefiting the American Heart Association. 3-3 coming into the second quarter. My name's Philly, joined by the coach Artie. It's Philly and Artie, and whether you're listening to us on TV or MASL TV or KVCR PBS or the radio, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the Major Arena Soccer League. 6 goals here in the first quarter as Gio Alves puts the ball into play, trying to connect with Junior Pinal. Pinal tried to chip it through. Orozco was there. And I'm trying to find the Pinal posse. He mentioned that he's got 15 family members coming out. He was so excited, by the way.
408 in the house.
He is beyond happy, though, playing for Utica City FC. When the Inside the Arena show comes out, you will hear him declare his love for Utica and how he wants to be there long term. As we see a challenge flag get thrown onto the turf. Coach, what are we looking at?
I'm not sure. Actually. It was head down, and in this game, you put your head down for a second, you're going to miss a lot of action. So not really sure, but I mean, obviously Coach Everton saw something. Maybe in the box, a deterrent on Pinal to the ball. I mean, it has to be something along those lines. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to kind of, unless he saw a power play situation.
And Artie, for our new viewers that are tuning in, potentially on KVCR, PBS, and MASL TV, what does the challenge flag indicate?
Challenge flag indicates that there might be a missed call by the officials that the coaches have caught, and if so, they throw the red flag, and they're issued 1 per game. If they challenge the call and it's upheld, then they will get that flag back. Otherwise, they lose the challenge for the remainder of the game, which in the 3-3 game with 14:22 left in the second quarter is a very significant decision here by Coach Everton, I would think, moving forward.
So there's always the debate whether or not a challenge flag getting thrown in the early moments of the game is beneficial or detrimental to a team. And we've seen plenty of games this season where throwing out the challenge flag too early has been costly for teams going into the second half.
It's kind of like being married, Philly. You know, you make a decision, you better make sure it's right when you go to the significant other. Otherwise, that decision is going to come back and get you down the road.
I'm going to leave that one alone. Your significant other is in the stands. My significant other is watching on TV, potentially in Evansville or Newburgh, Indiana. And shout out to Amanda the Panda Filament, our sideline reporter. She's not with us today, folks, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. She is tending to my mother-in-law who had open heart surgery. So
again,
love you, Mom.
Sorry, Philly.
Go for it.
Love you, Mom, too. They're challenged for a potential blue card, so that would certainly be a reason to challenge.
The power play story for Utica City this season has been success 24% of the time. The Empire Strykers on the penalty kill, a nose hair under 80%. And I do mean a nose hair. There we see the replay as Walter Diaz-Gonzalez sitting on that miter ball.
Too many players on the field is probably what they're asking for.
And Artie, again, for our new viewers, if it is in fact too many players, talk to our new viewers a little bit about that.
That would be a team blue card where one player from the Strykers would have to serve a 2-minute penalty in the sin bin, and they would have to play a player down, which would create a power play for Utica. And that player would remain in the box for the 2 minutes or until a goal is scored. And then if a goal is scored and there's a numerical imbalance, then the player will return to the field.
And this is why we pay you the big bucks. The coach, the man with the clipboard, former coach of the Ontario Fury, the man with the X's and O's, Artie Kyrell. You've coached at the highest levels. You've coached for U.S. Soccer. You coached Division I. You've coached club. You've seen a lot of things in your history.
I've been around. I don't know. I'm weathered, but it's been fun. You know, anytime you're around good footy. You know, obviously my son played in the league, and you know, he and I owned an indoor soccer arena back in the early '80s, so I was ahead of my time really in that aspect. But you know, just the game of indoor soccer is just in our blood as a family, as a business, and just love this game. And you know, you saw my son playing, just passion epitofied.
Shout out to Joseph the Jet Kyrell, the number 91, not to be worn here by the Empire Strykers. Gone but not forgotten. Rest in peace, Joseph the Jet Kyrell.
Oh, we've got looks like there were 6, yeah? 6 field, 2, 4, 5, 6.
So by the looks of things, Everton Moreira is going to get himself that challenge flag back.
What appears so.
So that does create a power play opportunity. We already talked about the statistics.
And a great recognition from the staff. You know, Everton and Tommy there on the bench, checking, you know, noticing that.
Tommy Tanner, of course, the general manager of Utica City FC, who's got a long career in the indoor game as well. We're going to get that official confirmation momentarily, so stand by for that.
After review, it is determined that there was too many men on Empire. It's a blue card, 2-minute power play. Utica remains the opportunity to challenge once more in the game.
So challenge flag retained by UCFC. Strykers, not the first time they've been caught with too many men on the turf.
Yeah, it's almost a chronic problem there. We've got to sort that out.
So Utica City now with the man advantage. And yes, folks tuning in, similar to hockey, the power play is on. So in the sin bin, I believe that is Munir Alami. Alami, the Strykers' leading scorer here in his second season in the league. Isak Somo charging in on his former teammates. Going up against Gio Alves. Look at the pressure by Somo.
Very good pressure. They can't play the goalkeeper again because he's already touched it on his half.
Silva saw Perez, opted to go backwards. Silva also part of that Cape Verde contingent, along with DeAndrade.
So again, you saw one of the insights there, Philly. You know, Strykers are pressing, and you had they had a front runner open on the back end. They just couldn't find him. So, you know, it's a very delicate balancing act there with the pressure and then the ability to break the pressure by finding the target and entry pass.
That was too strong of a touch from Alves.
Just like that, you know, that press. If they break that press, then we've got 3v2, and one of the 3 is Penal on the bottom board. That's a tough task.
And that kid can score. You had some comparisons to a legendary Baltimore Blast player. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Just, you know, when I saw him play and doing the research, it just, you know, Stan Stamenkovic and old school Baltimore Blast, they just came to mind the way he rolls it left-footed. And, you know, it's not fair to him to say he's the next coming, but just reminiscent enough for me to watch some highlights of it last night. It was spectacular to see those guys and see those shorts again. I've got a couple pair at home.
Strykers have 30 seconds left to kill this penalty. Silva blasts it off the plexi. Alves to his left, shot. Berto and Orozco getting in the way. And Perez is going to hit the deck. It's going to be a foul called against DeAndrade. And with 17 seconds to go, Strykers look like they're going to successfully kill this penalty, which will put their season average above 80%. Or maybe I spoke a little too soon. As UCFC recovers it, Alava open to the right. 2 seconds. Alava over to the left. Palmer playing a little bit of keep away. The bicycle attempt. And connection has been made, and a blue card is issued. Polo Hernandez took some contact, and it looks like we've got a blue card. A smurf, as I like to call it, on the other end.
Yeah, dangerous play. I mean, that's That's what they're going to call.
Rashad Ahmadi had that bicycle kick.
Power play against Utica, number 49 for kicking.
And yes, that is confirmed. No challenge there. Ahmadi does make the contact. Let's see the replay there.
Oh,
as he was going for the hybrid scissor / bicycle kick, he does make the connection. And now the Strykers have an opportunity on the power play where they're operating at a 25% efficiency. The penalty kill for UCFC this season at 70%.
Yeah, that was a hero or zero decision there, resulting in the 0, and now they're in a numbers down situation.
And this is where the Strykers are really going to take man advantage, as Orozco will be a part of this as the super extra attacker. The Strykers now are going to legally be able to utilize 6 players offensively, although Orozco does track back. Fabian in the Mansoret. Mansoret back over to the Stinger. Stinson, who was in the race for the Golden Boot last year, along with Jorge Rios of the Chihuahua Savage, who would end up winning that award. Mansoret. Excellent defense by UCFC. DeAndrade recovers it back. Genrick gets it over the midfield. Stinson and his former teammate from the U.S. indoor side, DeAndrade, battling for it. Stinson gets the pass back from Orozco. Approaching a minute to go within this power play. Diaz-Gonzalez. Back over to Stinson. Into Alami. Alami finds Fabian. Fabian just above the crossbar.
That was a great look. Great look. Now they got Berto with the 6 attacker jersey.
Stinson. And that's going to come off of UCFC. Fabian has it. 36 seconds remaining in the power play. Fabian with space to maneuver, and Marco Fabian threads through the netting. Marco, the magnificent, puts the Strykers back up on top. It is now 4-3.
Player like Marco, he had that shot in his head before his first touch, and he just set the defender up. You can just, as we can show the replay here, so the ball links around. Squirts across from Berto. Look at this. He knows what he's doing. That little fake touch and just that window. You see the space between the 2 players and hitting that side netting on the edge. Just, he knew. You can just watch his body language, like right here. He knows exactly what he's going to do. Little touch, little window, and that's why I am who I am.
And that's all that I am. Are you doing a Popeye promo there?
I eat my spinach.
With that power play goal by Fabian, he now is his 6th goal of the season. And with that, you get 20% off of any labor service at Perry's Place when Marco Fabian scores. So obviously that means something to you if you live in the Inland Empire. If you're at Utica City or in Utica or in the Northeast, it means nothing to you.
Another challenge bag from Coach Everton.
That's 2 within 1 quarter.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the contact from behind, going forward off that chest from Pinal to the runner. That would be my guess.
And these officials have been kept very busy here in this first half.
Well, the game's busy, man. There's 7 goals, dude.
Once again, the beauty of indoor soccer.
Love it. Love it.
A little bit of history for you new viewers tuning in. Utica City FC, a team founded in 2011.
The field is a common foul against Empire. That call is being challenged by Utica for a blue card.
There you heard it, common foul being challenged by Utica. Just to finish that thought, UCFC founded as the Syracuse Silver Knights. They joined what was then known as the MISL in the 2011-2012 season, where they finished 3rd in the Eastern Division. And then fast forward a few years later, June of 2018, they partnered with the AHL's Utica Comets and headed out to Utica, which they've had a significant presence in that upper corner of Northeast New York. And UCFC fans, some of the most passionate fans in the indoor game. You'll love to see the crowd at the Adirondack Bank Center. See the replay.
Indeed, that's a great fan base there. It's very, very difficult for a visiting team. So kind of coming in here, it's just one of these things, from behind. The biggest thing is player safety. When you're hit from behind, clearly violates that. So it's not quite as clear cut, but I mean, I can see what Coach Everton is thinking. Clearly, the player's not in a position to protect himself. He's going to goal. That's probably going to play a role to it. Because at that moment he's fouled. Technically, it's a 2v1 to frame, unless I missed a player.
Everton Moreira's got that keen cat-like eyesight.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just see it. Right, there you go, 2v1. You got Pinal and Berto. So again, off the front panel, and Pinal's got to tap in. So, I mean, you can make the good argument.
I don't have the stats on this, but I'd love to know how many challenge flags we've had this season in a second quarter that were successfully accomplished.
Oh, challenge.
I say that to our statistician extraordinaire, Jason Hernandez, who loves a challenge. So we'll see here at some point during this matchup whether or not we'll have some info on that. 4-3, currently your score. Empire Strykers leading at home against UCFC. Both teams eager to get back in the winning column as they're quickly approaching the halfway point of the season. Strykers now playing in their 14th game this season. UCFC in their 12th. Sounds so cliche, but every result carries extreme weight as we are standing by for the official verdict.
After review, it is determined that the foul on Empire number 24 stops a promising attack and is a 2-minute blue card power play. However, there is doubt over the control, so it is not a shootout, just a 2-minute power play.
Yeah, there you go. You know, I mean, clearly you saw it was a 2v1, 3v1 with the board. So, I mean, the referee's kind of a great call by Everton. Goodness sakes. You know what I mean? I mean, just a great look. You know, anytime your number's up going forward and you have the ball drop into your feet, the referees really have no choice but to call that. But not a shootout, so they didn't. The foul itself wasn't really the issue. The issue was, had he not been fouled, it was a 2v1 to goal, create a significant advantage. So just got to make sure. Now for Utica, they've got to make sure that they get a quality chance off, because the Strikers did a spectacular job on the last power play.
Alves puts it into play to Pinal. Pinal right off of Dutra. And look, we've seen 3 blue cards, 3 Smurf sightings. We call it a Smurf because very few things in this world are small in blue. So with the 3 blue cards we've seen, we're already building a Smurf village here in the second quarter as UCFC looks to draw even against the Empire Strykers. The pass over to Pinal. Pinal blasts it just above the crossbar. I reckon that it's going to get pretty loud in here if and when Pinal does score. As we mentioned, he's a California kid out of San Jose. He's got a lot of family in the area that have come down to watch him play. And he was all smiles, ear to ear, when I spoke to him early. De Andrade already an assist in this game. Silva to Pinal. Power play opportunity broken up. Mansoret tried to fire it away, but it bounced right off Alan Perez.
Trying to be a little too cheeky. I don't think Pinal expected it to come back.
Under a minute to go within this power play. Pinal with a rocket, but didn't have the precision attempt as that one comes off of the net. And goalkeeper restart. Zarosco puts it into play really quickly to Perez. Perez fires it. Lawal was open. It took too hard of a strike off of the dasher boards. Cudis back heel, but he's going to draw a foul. Lawal, as we mentioned, here in his first season with the Empire. Free agent signing from the Milwaukee Wave. And he's looked good in his few matches playing for Empire. Had an outdoor career, USL. Had a great high school career as well. As the restart set to be taken by the Stinger himself, Justin Stinson. Stinson blasts it. And that's going to find its way into the stands. And unfortunately for the fans, and that is our season ticket holder, Tina Hargett, who has sung the national anthem here, she can't walk away with that miter ball.
We know where she lives.
I don't know about this we thing. I don't know where she lives. I mean, why do you know where she lives? You know what? I retract my previous statement.
Definitely Philly.
Nothing I say can incriminate. As Amadi goes over to Alves. Oy, oy. Alves has Silva to his right. Pinal wide open on that bottom quarter. De Andrade on that far end. 7 seconds to go in this power play. That takes a couple of bounces. Perez cleans it up. Alves reconnects.
Oh, boy.
And he falls down. Here's an opportunity. Mansoray to Palmer. Palmer, too tough of a touch. And that was an opportunity where the Strykers could have gone up 5-3. Mansoray fed Palmer. Palmer couldn't finish. And the goal on the bottom right. And it is tied once again. Gio Alves, lucky number 7 with the equalizer. It is now 4-4.
Shootout in Toyota Arena. You know, we talk about it all the time. You know, you miss a chance and you get a chance, and that's exactly what happened. A bad giveaway. You know, I was just going to say many teams are very vulnerable when you get that player. You know, the player comes back on, they get caught. And then here, just an unfortunate miss, little wobble on the turf. And then just a quality finish, left peg, far post. Just got a shootout, man.
Alves, lucky number 7. I mention it not only because he wears number 7, but that's lucky number 7 in terms of his goals scored this season. And if this falls within a 1-goal effort where the Strykers don't come out with the result, you'd have to look back at that opportunity, that counter between Mansoray and Palmer. Of course, still so much more action to be had, but you see how quickly that UCFC were able to capitalize on a missed opportunity for the Empire Strykers. It could have been 5-3 just as easily as it now is 4-4.
Yeah, Utica's having some trouble with the press. You know, they got to look for that early entry pass, and they can catch them. They had him 2v1 right here, and he just kept the ball. Better score.
Silva, look at the defense by Chavez, and an excellent bit of defending by Polo.
Very good cover by Polo.
Orozco's got to buy dinner for his teammates. They bailed him out of trouble there. Genrick, who scored the opener for UCFC, that's going to come off of Polo. That's going to be a top-of-the-arc restart here for UCFC with 7:16 remaining, but that's going to send us to immediate timeout. Folks, we've seen 8 goals in a quarter and a half. It is 4-4. It's been wall-to-wall action. If you are not enjoying this kind of a contest, then I have to say you don't have a pulse. We are going to head to a commercial break, and when we come back, we got the second part of the second quarter here, live under the bright lights of Toyota Arena. It's the Major Arena Soccer League, Empire Strykers, Utica City FC, 4-4. Back with more action. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Here for giggles. Here for support. Here for healing. Here for courage. Here for moments. San Antonio Regional Hospital. Here for life.
From Toyota Arena, where that top of the arc restart was denied by the Empire Strykers. 4-1 here. My name's Philly, joined by the coach, Artie. Pinal comes up with it, threads it in to Alves, and Alves is going to go down, and that's going to be a foul issued to his former teammate, Isak Somo.
That was a good little touch there. I mean, he was pulling that foul right on his touch. He knew he was going to get that.
Alves here in his 4th year in the MASL in Utica City. It's the Rhode Island Gatorade Player of the Year in high school as that attempt sails into the stratosphere. I mean, I thought we were high up there. I mean, we saw that practically eye level with the ricochet it took.
We saw the panels up and close.
little more on Alves. We mentioned Rhode Island High School Gatorade Player of the Year. Also featured with the New England Revolution's Academy as Silva's shot goes into the netting. As part of that U18 for the New England Rev, Alves was the leading scorer on that team. So very impressive stuff by Gio Alves. 22 goals, 34 assists, 56 points. We'll make that 57 points now in 63 games played. Alava with a lot of room to maneuver. That comes off of the Empire Dasher board. Look at the way it danced along the boards. Juan Alava. Pinal steps on it. The pass. Look at the ball movement. Another opportunity, and that takes the wrong end of a slice. Belliard missed that opportunity. Belliard, who scored a goal, recipient of the pass from Pinal. Orozco. That one gets recovered by Santos.
Pinal reminds me of another 408 player that I coached back in the day, Enrique Keeks Tovar. Little puppet master with the ball as well. Maybe it's that way in the 408.
Keeks, former assistant coach. You were on the coaching staff with him under Jimmy Nordberg, weren't you?
Keeks, yeah. I coached Keeks at the senior amateur level for a national championship and in the USL.
I've known you for years, and yet every broadcast I discover something new. Fabian turns and fires, just misses. Might have caught Wilkin there. Amadi. Hernandez pokes it back to Orozco. That takes a heck of a bounce. Hernandez and Amadi battling in on that side. Ali. Pass comes in. Look at the back heel. Mansoure sprinting in. Bodied off of the ball by DeAndrade. And Nilton, in his first game back, has had a serious impact both offensively and defensively tonight.
Just saw that little lean when Mansoure was on his opposite step, just kind of nudged him off the ball. That was textbook shoulder to shoulder. You always want to push on a guy when he's on his inside foot because then he doesn't have the balance to catch himself. So he had caught him on the lean. What an excellent teaching tool right there.
Stevens to Genrick, over to Silva. Spur is requesting it right around the midfield. Pressured by Hernandez. Sees Perez, goes back over to Alves. Wilkin out of his box, advances towards the midfield. He's going to be a focal part of the attack, and he was wide open on that left side as Dutra closes in the gap, denying Pinal of the pass. Spur over to Amadi, who had been calling for it for seconds. Seeing UCFC spreading the Strykers' defense. Pinal with Dutra, two youngsters of the indoor game, two up-and-coming all-stars. Pinal with the turnaround. Orozco gets his hand and his boot on it. That was a close call.
Yeah, Pinal didn't get a good hit on it. I think he might be pressing just a little bit for the fans. I think second half he's probably going to settle down a little bit.
We know he's excited, coming back to California, back in front of family. Rashad Amadi out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, second year with UCFC. Played with the Wichita Wings. He was a M2 second team All-Star and fifth in the M2 and scoring with 25 goals during the 23-24 season. He's finding his legs here in M1. Looking around, looking for options. UCFC playing a little keep away. Dutra in his first season with the Empire. That one had the potential to be a superstructure violation, which was coined by my former broadcast partner, Jonathan Reimer. That superstructure violation means if it hits the scoreboard, it's obviously a dead ball. Genrick to his left. Belliard dancing on it out of Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, here in his third season in the MASL. Talk about another player with futsal experience. It's with the DR's national futsal team. Silva. And Dutra was goading him. A little bit of trash talk between Dutra and Silva. You like to see that. Players fired up, chirping with one another. Friends off the turf, enemies on it. Shalir wearing the number 99, a number reserved for great ones. And he's had a great season. 10 goals, 3 assists coming into tonight. Shalir also very young within his career playing indoor. Second year in the MASL. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the half. So Lava muscles Alami. Lava out of Ecuador here in his first season. That one comes out into the UCFC bench. Says right here that Alava, 2-time All-American in Nassau Community College. Nassau Community College in Long Island, Hempstead, New York, right down the road from Hofstra University. And at one point, the Nassau Coliseum, which was the former home of the New York Islanders. Diaz Gonzalez putting defenders on skates as Wilkin comes in. Pinal with the touch. Pinal, Junior over to Alves. Alves into Silva. Under 90 ticks of the game clock here in the half. Excellent defense by Somo on Silva as DeAndrade goes back to the midfield. Pass goes in to Stevens. Cole Stevens out of Milwaukee. Played collegiately at Eastern Illinois. Recovers the touch from Mansoret. Goes back over to Alves. 66 seconds remaining. That one gets sliced by UCFC. Under a minute to go. Strykers successfully closed out the first quarter with a goal. Can they do it again? Diaz Gonzalez with Fabian open. He gets dispossessed as Pinal and UCFC have some numbers on the counter. The pass into the left, the cheeky chip, an excellent cheeky chip as Nilton DeAndrade in his return game in the MASL this season collects his first goal of the season and puts UCFC up by a score of 5-4.
I mean, look at Pinal's vision. Just, you know, as they come and create an advantage. So anytime your number's up, you want to commit that defender to create that isolation, and that's exactly what he did. Brian defending the bottom half and just a cheeky quality finish. That's a tough order for the goalkeeper to save. But again, Pinal's patience to commit Berto. You saw Berto just trying to force the play one way so that Brian would take the second attacker, and as it played out, it was a spectacular finish. But if Pinal plays that ball too early, then that situation goes away. So it's very effective execution of a numbers up attack.
Will the Strykers find an answer before we close out the quarter? Is Orozco's shot saved by Wilkin. Orozco's going to quickly sprint back. Spur. Belted by Berto into the net. Goalkeeper restart for Wilkin. 21.6 seconds remaining here in the half as the epic song of the 90s, Zombie Nation, invades your auditory canal here in Toyota Arena. I love that song, by the way. As Spur tries to connect with Shalir. Shalir and Berto battling close to the box. Chavez tries to find Stinson. The Stinger with a little room to maneuver. Look at him go, finding some space. He fires it oh so close. As the game clock expires, the Strykers were oh so close at finding the equalizer. Stinson creatively found the space, just couldn't punch it through. And that's the horn. 5-4, 9 goals in this half. Artie, we have ourselves, like you said, a shootout at the OK, not gonna say Corral, the OK Arena.
Yeah, it's been spectacular entertainment for the fans here. I mean, getting a great show, some very good stuff. At the end of the day, both teams are making the other team pay for their errors or their mistakes. So, I mean, that just makes for an exciting game, entertaining game. I'm sure the coaches are going to want to clean some things up as far as the giveaways and losing the ball at dangerous spots on the floor.
And it had to have been a frustrating half for head coach of the Empire Strykers, Onuo Obasi, who was last season's MASL Coach of the Year. You can look at that play, that counter between Mansoret and Palmer that didn't come through, and eventually that led to a goal by UCFC. You're looking at a whole different ball game had that counter worked out, but we are waiting. Of course, we don't have Amanda the Panda Filament. Don't worry, folks. She'll be back the next game. But we're going to have a conversation with Onuo Obasi ourselves, Artie. So we're just waiting for him to put on the comms and for us to get Coach's thoughts on the first half. But again, 5-4, we've just seen some incredible and exciting action here in indoor. All right, so confirming that coach can hear us. Copy. 5-4 here, just moments away from hearing from Onuo Obasi. We are standing by with head coach of the Empire Strykers, Onuo Obasi. Coach, 5-4. We've had a shootout here. Can we get your overall assessment on the first half?
Yeah, disappointing. We knew they wanted to hit us in transition, and we engaged in that. We engaged in that game with them. We engaged in that game with them, and when you, as you said, Billy, it's a shootout, and when you do a shootout, anything can happen. So that's disappointing, not being able to stick to the plan and execute. But obviously the blue cards hurt as well. I think we were in the ascendancy at that point, and back-to-back blue cards was disappointing. But we got a whole second half, and I think we can play our football, and I think we'll be successful. But we have to get back to what we do.
Coach Obasi, Artie Kyrell here. How you doing, man? Doing all right?
Yeah, good, mate.
Got a shootout going on. So what are you thinking as far as kind of getting back to your game plan? What would you like your boys to do in the second half a little bit better, a little tighter?
Yeah, I think just taking care of the ball. I think we watch back that last, the last second quarter, the whole of the second quarter, we didn't sustain any possession. I think we let the game be transitional. We had chances even in transition, but lack of quality in front of goal, some big chances, and if you don't score, the other team will score at some point. And it was disappointing half. I thought we had some good spells, but overall, we have to do better in the second.
Right. So Coach, offensively, the Utica's kind of pushing some numbers and going with a double target, double post, and they've kind of come free a little bit. Do you see that as well, or?
I feel as though Utica, true to their game plan, they try and draw you in, like draw you out, and then play the targets. And I don't think that's where we've been hurt so much as just a lack of quality on the ball. I think guys, missing easy passes and easy chances. We're not even getting a shot on target. I still think there's a bit of a lack of quality in what we do, but if we revert back to our average, we should be good. We should be good enough in the second half to score some goals.
All right,
go get him, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks, guys.
Folks, you've just heard from the Empire Strykers head coach, Onuo Obasi. Curious to know what he's going to talk to about with his team. I mean, he was absolutely right. In the second quarter, it was all Utica City. They dominated the Strykers, 10 shots to 3, overall 16-10. So it really is no surprise that they currently have the lead now, 5-4.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to press on the bottom half, of the midline. The problem was their entry passes, their exit passes were just easily gobbled up, and just another reload. So it becomes problematic because you're stuck on the floor. You can't make the changes, and just the giveaways resulted in goals. Like we said, they've paid for each other's mistakes.
All right, folks, we're going to send it to halftime. Stick around. Still plenty more action to be had here from Toyota Arena. Halftime with the score. UCFC leading the Empire Strykers by a score of 5-4. We'll see you on the other end of the half.
With 6 calls, runway 26 break, cleared on.
For 30 years, National Core has been transforming lives, building communities where our residents and neighbors can thrive, and providing homes for your Empire Strykers. Affordable, high-quality, secure housing. National Core, home of the Empire Strykers.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
What's going on, Striker fans? My name and yes, I know y'all wanted Panda, but don't you worry, she's going to be here the next time around. It is my honor and privilege to have a conversation today with sophomore sensation of the Empire Strykers, forward Munir Alami. Munir, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today.
Thank you for having me here.
So you're now in your second season with the Empire Strykers. Last year, 16 goals, 12 assists. You were a finalist for Newcomer of the Year. You had yourself a fantastic season. Talk to us about some of the things you learned and some of the challenges from last year.
I mean, the last year was my first year. I learned a lot through my teammates, my coach, and I'm still learning this year. The goal is to take that growth forward from whatever I learned last year and add more to it. And yeah.
So that growth has obviously moved on to season 2. We're all ready. You are the Strykers' leading scorer. Think about that for a second. You're the Strykers' leading scorer. You just picked up the indoor game last season. What did you do differently during the offseason to prepare for this year compared to what you did the prior summer?
I mean, stay active. I do gym. I just try to be fit and play as much game as I can and just avoid to be injured.
Well, it's good that you're not injured. Now, this summer, something really awesome happened for you and with you. At the TST tournament in Cary, North Carolina, you got to compete with Bumpy Pitch. That team had several of your Strykers teammates, as well as players from the San Diego Sockers. You guys won the entire tournament. You won $1 million as a group. Talk to us about that experience and how it helped you develop your game on the small side.
I mean, it was great for me. Like, it was a great experience for me. And to play alongside with some of the Empire players and some of the San Diego guys, I mean, it was really a great experience.
You didn't spend all the money from TST, did you?
I did, actually.
I'm not going to ask you what the first thing you bought was. Don't you worry, don't you worry. Now, there's a tournament coming up here in the next couple of months. The world is going to descend upon Los Angeles and the rest of this country. On June 13th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Do you know what's going on?
No.
Morocco versus Brazil. Morocco versus Brazil. I mention this because you, of course, are from Morocco. Talk to us about your excitement about that game and what does Morocco need to do in order to get a win over Brazil and come out of the group stage?
I mean, I'm very happy that if we can pick up a win against Brazil. And
if Morocco beats Brazil, how excited would you be? Morocco wins 1-0. The world goes on crazy. What do you do? How do you celebrate?
I mean, I bet $1,000 me and Felipe from Brazil.
Oh, so that's where the TST money went.
I have $1,000, yeah.
Well, you heard that, folks. One other thing I just want you to know, in case you weren't aware already, you were the first player for the Empire Strykers to score a goal to start the season in San Diego. You also were the first Empire Striker to score a goal to start the season against Chihuahua in Corner Sport Arena. So 2 years in a row, Munir Alami, who just started his indoor career, scored goals to open the season. How does that make you feel, knowing that or trying to remember that at this point?
I mean, I'm really happy to be part of the team and to share this experience. And it's always good to score.
Always good to score, and we're hoping for some goals today. Munir, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us. Good luck for the rest of the season, and of course, good luck today against Utica City.
Thank you.
What's going on, Striker fam? My name is Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, and it is my honor and privilege to welcome the mayor of Rancho Cucamonga, His Excellency himself, Dennis Michael. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. Glad to be here with the Strykers and the Empire Strykers and enjoy the game. And our whole community will be here, at least a couple thousand of them or more. So we're pretty excited about the whole event.
Rancho Cucamonga coming in, bringing the noise. I love it. For those that don't know, Rancho Cucamonga is a city that borders Ontario. Ontario being the home of the Empire Strykers, a professional indoor team that wants to not only represent its city, but the Inland Empire. Talk to us about the importance of the relationship between the Strykers and the city of Rancho Cucamonga.
You know, from a standpoint of sports, our city truly appreciates the partnership we have with the Empire Strykers, but we appreciate it based on the fact that they come to our community, help our children and their families learn the sport of soccer and learn skills that they would not otherwise learn. Adults and children alike look up to professional athletes, regardless of what sport it might be. But in particular, soccer in our community is a huge, huge calling. A huge number of our children, boys and girls, are playing soccer. So to give them some additional skills from the partnership that we have with the players and with the ownership of the Empire Strykers is priceless.
And that's a very important thing because we got the World Cup coming through this summer. And who knows, maybe somebody down the road from Rancho Cucamonga or Ontario could be on the roster for the U.S. men's or women's national team. So we thank you for your partnership in that endeavor. Now, obviously, you're a very busy man. Is there any way you could talk to us about some of the most important community initiatives that you are overseeing in Rancho Cucamonga?
I think our sports programs, our community, it thrives in partnerships with other agencies like the Empire Strykers, but more importantly, just being a community and providing the kinds of resources that community and our residents thrive and enjoy being part of our community. We believe in ourselves as a jewel of the Inland Empire. We were considered a world-class city in 2020 during the middle of a pandemic, and so we've got programs for every age, from our senior citizens who are critically important to us, all the way down to our smallest of children.
Now I got to ask you a personal question. Boots to the ground, born and raised Rancho. You were a firefighter and you retired as a fire chief before getting into politics. Obviously, a lot of differences between being a firefighter, a fire chief, and a mayor. But are there any similarities? Like, what did you take from being a fire chief that's helped you out in your mayor career, in your political career?
I think probably teamwork. We refer to ourselves as Team RC, and that starts from the council all the way down to the person that's answering the phones. All of us are equally as important to what we do for the community. And I think for me, learning about teamwork, no different than teamwork in a soccer field or any kind of sports team. It takes the whole team to make the organization successful. The city council is part of that team. We provide the direction, the goals, the objectives, and adopt the budgets, and then turn that over to our incredible staff, and they make everything happen.
I love to hear that. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Glad you're here. Thank you for your partnership with the city of Rancho Cucamonga, and thank you for attending the Strykers game. Go Strykers. The mayor, Rancho Cucamonga, Dennis Michael.
Absolutely, and go Strykers.
Go Strykers.
Corky's Homestyle Kitchen and Bakery, where good food and good feelings come standard. Our team serves up an array of made-from-scratch, homestyle favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with fresh-baked goodies straight from the oven. Inspired by Grandma Corky herself, every dish is made with the freshest ingredients and a heaping helping of love. Her spirit lives on in every bite, filling more than just your belly. It fills your heart, too. So come join our family here at Corky's, where friendly faces, honest cooking, and quality food are just the way we do things.
National Corps, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion, this is your Empire.
Welcome to the Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Centre, where convenience meets comfort. Just 5 minutes from Ontario Airport and only 30 seconds from Toyota Arena, we are right in the heart of the IE and home to your Empire Strykers watch parties. Whether you're traveling, catching a game, or hosting your next big event, we have everything you need, from a full snack bar and pool real-time flight tracking and flexible event spaces for groups of all sizes. Trusted by teams, fans, and the community, Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Centre is proud to be the Empire's most trusted hotel.
Shoot! It's goal!
This is MASL in 5. How goes it, folks? I'm Alex Bastiavansky, back here in our league studio. Hope all is well in your world. There's a ton to cover today, as we look at what's going on in the league right now. So let's get to it.
The clock ticking down to 10. The shot blocked in the middle. It was knocked away by Tacoma. There's 7 seconds. It's knocked in. They score! They score! It's tied up. And guess who did it for his 500th point in the MASL? Big Nicky, you're so tricky. We're tied at 6.
Nick Pereira, 500th career point. More on that in just a moment. More importantly, that tied the game against Tacoma with just 5 seconds left, sending this one off to overtime.
Whale looking for Nick. Nick Pereira, Mendez score!
Oh, the drama. Sebastian Mendez, the overtime winner for San Diego. And yes, Nick Pereira assisted on the winner for his 501st career MASL point. Regular season point, it should be clarified, because Nick also has 19 playoff points. Pereira had 5 total in the win for the Sockers. What a career it's been for one of the league's all-time greats. This is his 12th season in the MASL, and he's also picked up 2 MVP awards over that time. Way to go, Nick. Utica City was hosting Milwaukee on Sunday. Now, back in December, UCFC came back from 6-1 down to win in overtime, but the comeback fell just short in this one as the Wave held on to take it 7-6. Alex Steinwasser and Oscar Flores had 2 goals apiece for Milwaukee. It was a rough week for Empire. First on January 30th, they were in Kansas City and they kept it close in the first half, but the Comets scored 5 straight to close things out and take this one by a final score of 6-3. And then on Sunday, the Strykers were in Baltimore. The Blast just in control the entire way. They broke open a 2-2 tie with 6 straight goals to cruise to the 8-2 win. Now, some important league news to tell you about. The MASL has launched its first ever Play with Heart campaign for the month of February, dedicated to raising awareness about heart health and empowering fans with life-saving knowledge. Developed with the American Heart Association, each team will don commemorative red armbands that will be auctioned off by the MASL, with proceeds benefiting the American Heart Association. Head to the league website and heart.org for more information. It's a great initiative. Scoring leaders right now, 2 guys from KC leading the way, Zach Reggett and Rian Marquez with 29 points apiece. Alex Sanchez has 27. Then it's Super Mario Alvarez with 23 points and Jonatas Mello of Baltimore rounding out your top 5 with 22 points. Players of the week, Julian Rodriguez in between the posts. Nick Pereira offensively, and on the defensive end, Gio Alves from Utica City FC. Let's start things off with Nick. As we mentioned, he picked up his 500th career MASL regular season point, and in this game, 5 points for Nick, 2 goals, 3 assists in the OT win over Tacoma. And Gio Alves, he had a great game against the Milwaukee Wave in a losing effort, but still 5 points in the contest, 1 goal, 4 assists, and a block. And in goal, Julian Rodriguez, 13 saves in the game against Empire and 2 assists, getting it done defensively as well as offensively. Time now for your plays of the week.
Pereira on a run, gets it back, has some space in. Frater scores through the 5-hole. It's 7-2 Blast.
5 minutes to go in the third. Here's Alves. Rolled wide. The shot goes in. Manny Silva made 8 saves as well, but then was replaced as there's a shot and a goal, and it is Sanchez.
Roscoe scores!
Gratterall into Fabian, who shoots. Save, Ejimanu. They drive it back in there. Ejimanu scrambling back.
And now here's a breakaway. Short-handed opportunity. Steinwasser all alone, and he scores!
It was knocked away by Tacoma. There's 7 seconds. It's knocked in! They score! They score! And guess who did it for his 500th point in the MASL? Big Nicky, you're so tricky! Nick Pereira, Mendez score! Mendez. Golden goal!
And that's going to wrap things up for this week's show. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
Today in America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges, and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, we are changing lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
With 6 miles, runway 26 right, clear on.
Hello, Empire Nation. I am Martina Sellers, the CEO of Marcel Wellness Center, and I am so excited to announce this amazing partnership with the Empire Strykers on Score a Lunch with a Striker.
So the students can qualify. We have 3 pillars. So for their academics, their character, and their perseverance. All right, kids, so work hard so that you can get those entries in. Maybe you'll get to meet Coach Al.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. I hope to see you guys at the game.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter.
MGR Real Estate and MGR Property Management, Southern California's largest independent family-owned real estate company, providing commercial sales and leasing, residential sales and leasing, residential and commercial property management, and homeowner association management. MGR Real Estate Services, the proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers. We would like to thank our official hotel sponsor, Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center, a Hyatt affiliate hotel, conveniently located just 2 miles from the Ontario International Airport and 4 miles from the Ontario Convention Center.
And welcome back, folks. Seconds away from being underway here in the third quarter as Utica City FC leads the Empire Strykers by a score of 5-4. My name's Philly, alongside the coach, Artie Kyrell. The first half dominated by UCFC, 16 shots to the Empire's 10, 5-4, and Nilton DeAndrade with a goal and an assist. Junior Pinal, 2 assists. They have really been the key contributors to this UCFC attack here in the first 30 minutes.
Just making them pay for some mistakes. They've had much of the play, but the Strikers, to their credit, have come back. You know, they've had answers, they've had responses. So this next goal, we say it all the time, but this next goal is going to be critical, especially for the Strikers.
And there we see them pressing high for the Empire Strykers. It was Abdul Mansour, who, by the way, has had 5 points in his last 2 games with 3 goals and 2 assists. Pass into Alves. Look at the save by Orozco. Orozco denies Alves. Alves had an annihilator of an attempt, and Orozco says, I don't think so.
Great ball from Willie, just textured ball over the top. Just excellent technique from both players to create that chance.
Alves on the restart, over to Spur. Alves shoots it off the bottom right, left, depending on what side of the screen we're looking at here. Spur in the midfield. See Palmer in there defensively. And there's an attempt that gets sailed into the rafters by Tavares. And speaking of Berto, as of right now, the 3 blocked shots that he had in the first half gives him 420 career blocks. And if your name is Chad Vandergriff, you've got 419. We've got to race for most blocked shots. Chad Vandergriff, of course, of the Kansas City Comets. Berto Palmer, his former teammate, 2 MASL Defenders of the Year. Palmer, one of the toughest defenders. Fabian's attempt, and look at the kick save by Wilkin.
A hip pin.
There he is being pressured, but off the wall. Berto. And there's a battle between Genrich and Powell. And that foul is assessed to the Lion himself, El Leon, on the restart. All the space in the world for Belliard as Lawal steps in defensively. Dutra chests it over to Palmer. Palmer into the sky. Stevens with the touch. The pass over to Amadi.
Utica's doing a very good job, breaking the lines and finding the gaps to get forward, breaking the press.
That one sails above the official as it comes right over to Orozco, who moments ago had his save of the game.
That was a great save.
Steven Chavez went towards that midfield, saw Nilton DeAndrade and thought otherwise. Orozco hits it off and into Mansoure, but we've got a whistle.
That's 2 fouls on Brian already this game, right? I mean, they're sending a message here for him. And Utica's pressing just a little bit higher on that last sequence.
The Strikers like to utilize multiple keepers. It's Clayson DeLima, who is the backup today in lieu of Brandon Gomez. Noah Bassi has an embarrassment of riches as far as goalkeepers are concerned. Somo over to Stinson. Stinson was calling for it for quite some time. Stinson trying to find his way offensively in as Orozco is the recipient of the pass, and Brian Orozco finds the net. Turf to Twine, and the Strikers find their equalizer. It is now 5-5.
You saw Utica got stacked on the change. Little overcommitment in the right channel, and they just did the ball coming across to Brian right in the sweet spot and just cracked it home. So you can see right here where they get stacked, Pinal just kind of stuck there. Nobody bounced out, touch, hit. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, that's their warm-up right there, So, good hit, great goal, great response, game on.
Bad boy Brian with his 3rd goal of the season, leading all keepers in that statistical category. He's up there when it comes to the goals against average and the save percentage. But Brian Orozco scores goals with the best of them in this league. Somo gets by the defense, finds Lawal. He creates some space, but look at the defense, the denial. Incredible defense by UCFC. I was certain that was a goal, but Santos says no. Santos out of Brazil, he too a futsal background, rookie in this league, who came in with 2 goals and 6 assists, now in his 11th game played. Shalir against Dutra. Cuba versus Brazil. That's going to be a foul assessed to number 99.
Interesting call there.
10 goals in this contest. Look at the defense, Amadi and Orozco. Spur it, and denied by Polo Hernandez. Strikers are playing with fire right there. Your live by the sword, die by the sword moments, but between Orozco and Polo, exquisite defense by the Empire, denying UCFC what could have been the go-ahead goal.
That's twice for Polo. Just great understanding when the goalkeeper's committed to drop in. Excellent work by him.
Pass over to Amadi. Amadi, who nearly created a highlight reel moment for himself, takes it away from Diaz-Gonzalez. Diaz-Gonzalez bats it off of Stevens. Over to Fabian. Fabian has Alami wide open. Taken away by Genrich. Pass into Spur. Spur assessing his options. Goes over to Silva. Catches it right back. The long ball into Toy Tavares, who smashes it off the boards. Back and forth action we have. Silva, Lawal, and Perez comes up with it. Alami, the Moroccan international, threads it through, but picked up by Gio Alves.
This is where Strykers have to do a little bit better, keeping that ball on the exit. They had a chance to keep it, and they didn't, forced it. And Utica's been able to kind of reestablish their rhythm.
Palmer over to Alami. Strykers in on the counter. Somo wide open to the left. Somo's got Berto inside the box. That one gets denied by Alves. Ali, Somo. And just to stop on any of the confusion, being that we have two Somo brothers on the turf, we will from here on out refer to number 99 as Ali, number 24 as his brother Isak. There is Isak over to Ali. Being pressured on the ball by Tavares. The pass in to Stinson. Stinson, who comes into today with 6 goals and 5 assists. At over 30 last season. Last year was Stinson's best year in the MASL. One of the most exciting players here in the Major Arena Soccer League out of St. Charles, Missouri, who, along with his teammate Berto Palmer, created some incredible moments in their career here in the Inland Empire, here in Ontario, California. Alami, back over to Stinson. Strykers have some time now to set themselves up offensively. Orozco outside of his box. Ali uses the wall to get past Toy. Palmer, and that's going to be a foul. Whistle blown. Assessed to UCFC. And some extracurricular activity between Brian Wilkin and Robert Palmer. Didn't see exactly what happened there, but Wilkin fell down, and I know Palmer's chirping back.
Berto wanted the ball. Berto didn't get the ball. Wilkin kicked the ball away, got a delay of game, and Berto gave him a little love tap.
Berto is competitive as it gets, 12-year pro out of Kingston, Jamaica. Defender of the Week to start off the MASL season. As we mentioned, multiple Defender of the Year awards, MASL First Team and Elite Six, and a Park University Hall of Famer. Doesn't get much tougher in this league than Robert Palmer. On the restart, Diaz-Gonzalez into the stinger. Stinson fires, and it takes the bounce, and the Stinson Stinginator threads through his 7th goal of the season, and the Strykers go up 6-5.
Great finish from Justin. Again, just moving the ball simple. Little roll, no wobbles, and able to hit it clean. Little delay. One touch, little deflection, we'll take it.
You mentioned the Ontario Airport Hotel, Artie. There's a drink there named after Stinson. I believe it is called Stinson Fizz. And if the Strykers can come out of this game with a dub, people will be raising that glass high in the air.
Great response for Coach Obasi's side in the second half. See if they can keep the pressure on again. We talked about the travel earlier.
Wilkin blasts it, trying to harness in his inner Orozco. Although Wilkin stands tall himself in terms of being a goal scorer this season. Did score against Tacoma a couple of games ago. And Utica finds themselves in a familiar territory, down by 1 after holding on to the lead. This is a team that has had the lead in so many contests, lost by 1 in 4 contests. Just looking to get off the schneid. 3-game losing streak. Strykers with a 2-game losing streak. 2 teams incredibly hungry for a win. Teams on the outside of the playoff party line trying to find their way in. UCFC 5 points behind the Strykers, but with 2 games in hand. Stevens, that one gets through, and it scores! Orozco lost track of it, and it's either Stevens or Pinal that's going to get the credit for it. And as the Strykers go up, only minutes and seconds transpire as Utica finds the equalizer. Let's get a better look as to who's going to get credit for the goal. There's Stevens. He fires it off of the wall. Orozco loses track of it, and that's going to come off of Pinal. And that's going to send us to immediate timeout. Pinal with his 3rd point of the game and the equalizer as we step into a break.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
One, two, three, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show.
Corky's Homestyle Kitchen and Bakery, where good food and good feelings come standard. Our team serves up an array of made-from-scratch, homestyle favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with fresh-baked goodies straight from the oven. Inspired by Grandma Corky herself, every dish is made with the freshest ingredients and a heaping helping of love. Her spirit lives on in every bite, filling more than just your belly. It fills your heart, too. So come join our family here at Corky's, where friendly faces, honest cooking, and quality food are just the way we do things.
Is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more.
Join the Hope Through Housing Foundation, empowering children and families in the Inland Empire and beyond through after-school programs and financial coaching. To learn more and see how Hope is making a difference, visit hopethroughhousing.org. San Antonio Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers, keeping our community strong, healthy, and active for over 115 years. San Antonio Regional Hospital, here for life.
Speaking of San Antonio Regional Hospital, with the excitement of this game and my heart palpitating, I hope I don't have to pay them a visit later on today. Artie, no penal, no party. Got himself a goal, had 2 assists in the first half, 3 points in front of 15 of his family and friends. He's having an incredible game, and he's had a huge impact today as the score is 6-6.
Good for him, just being a footballer. You know, he expected it to come off his left foot, and it wasn't exactly his left foot that got him the goal, but goal nonetheless.
And, of course, that was created by an incredible attack by UCFC in the box.
Yeah, just Brian got wrong-footed and scrambled off the boards and just couldn't locate the ball.
Yeah, he lost track of that. Coming off the heels of having scored a goal himself. But what a shootout we've had here. 12 goals between the two teams, and Orozco puts it off the United Chiropractic Health Center dasher board. Shout out to drfantasia.com. Diaz-Gonzalez against Shalier. 2 members of the Cuban national futsal team. Not something you see every day. Manuel Belliard over to Wilkin. And Shalier is going to get called for the foul on his fellow countryman, Diaz-Gonzalez. The restart. Fabian tried to blast it. Alava over to Silva.
Great recovery by the Strikers.
Could have been a 2-on-2. Instead, it turned into a 2-on-4. Powell hits the deck. The pass into Alves. Alves, look at the save by Orozco, atoning for the sin of the goal from moments ago. The pass in. De Andrade, the header, and another goal. UCFC score once again. Take a bow. Number 31, Alava. And we hear some poultry in the stands. The Boo Birds are out as UCFC regains control of the lead, 7-6.
This ill-advised nutmeg attempt by Marco. Wallace scorer, there it is, just reacting. Berto was caught in between attacking the ball and heading the ball and just got caught. Again, you know, both teams are making each other pay for these mistakes. Great for the fans, tough for the coaches.
Tough for the broadcasters, too. All these goal calls here as Alava scores his 4th goal of the season, his 6th point. UCFC up 7-6.
I'm telling you, we would try to write stuff down, and we miss stuff.
13 goals, and we're not even past the 3rd quarter. This is a high-scoring game. And, yes, it's going to sound like a cliche at this point. A shootout, no question. Stinson against Genrick. 2 players who have scored today. Stinson Over to Polo, who's also scored today. It's one of those you get a goal kind of games. Over to Ali, who trained with UCFC. And apparently there's another Somo brother that's been training with Utica City FC. The talent that comes out of that lineage has been very impressive.
Double touch by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper can only touch the ball one time per sequence on the defending half. He touches it twice. In this case, they're calling. I'm sure Brian thought that the ball was nicked by the defender. Referee had something different to say. Free kick for Utica.
And just a couple of errant turnovers by the Strikers have led to opportunities for UCFC. Can they punish the Strikers again? Olava over to Silva. Silva to Belliard. Belliard to Cole Stevens, who was involved in the goal by Pinal. Perez, he too has a goal today. Stinson over to Dutra. A cheeky backheel pass off the wall from Hernandez trying to find Stinson. Leads to a foul on the turf. 4:34 remaining here in the third quarter. UCFC leads the Empire 7-6. Crucial game for both teams. UCFC looking to break through a 3-game losing streak. Strikers looking to break through it too. Both these teams are positioned 7th and 8th in the MASL table, with only the top 6 advancing to the playoffs. Every game carrying weight at this point. UCFC a couple games in hand. They played the least amount of games out of any team in the Major Arena Soccer League this season.
Strikers had them tilted again. Unfortunately, they didn't move the ball quick enough in that case.
Palmer with Pinal in front of him finds Diaz Gonzalez. Over to Perez. Perez over to Alami. Alami to Perez, and Alan Perez for the second time threads through turf to twine the equalizer. 7-7.
Just playing into the target and combining into it. Great sequence for the Strikers. Excellent finish, workmanlike goal from Alan Perez. Nothing better than what he does. Look, it just continues, gets lost in the shuffle again. They got tilted. I mean, I literally just said it, that they were tilted, didn't make them pay. There you saw a box of 4 with no one tracking, and Alan just says, doopity-doop. Thank you very much.
Perez now with 6 goals on the season. Had 9 goals last year, 9 goals the season prior. But he has been lighting up the lamps, and another attempt and a goal. A quick answer by UCFC. The goals that keep on coming. It is now 8-7 Utica City.
Oh my goodness. You just cannot lose the ball at your feet. Cannot lose the ball at your feet. A little toe poke forward and he's out. Instead, those long legs just come in. Brian's caught, stuck, just slotted it home. You know, when in games like this, man, you gotta play the percentages. You gotta play safe, right? I mean, everyone's kind of countering and going. If he just lifts it 3 feet in the air over the defender's feet, it's rolling to the off official, and they can reload and readjust. You know, it's young mistakes.
Amadi gets his 5th goal of the season. And he, like Bugs Bunny once said, he knew he should have taken that left point at Albuquerque. And I say it that way because Amadi's from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Little homage to my buddy Mike Haas. Happy birthday to you, Mikey, or Hasi. You know, he played the MASL with Colorado. His thing was always, you know, he had a coach would bang his ring on the floor, on the boards, and just say, you know, lose the ball going forward. Lose the ball going forward. And Strikers need to heed that advice.
Just such a gutsy performance by Utica City FC. Have plenty of things working against them, the travel, the 3-hour jet lag, but Empire took the first lead of the game, and it really has been back and forth. This is turning out to be an instant classic this season, as both teams hungry for the dub. Dub City hasn't necessarily been that here in Empire this season. Same can be said for Utica City FC. But in a league this season with only 8 teams, so many talented teams, and I will go on the record by saying these 2 teams are far more talented than their records indicate. And they are showing us just the level of talent and skill as Orozco shoots it. That was close. And that's going to be a foul on Pinal. 2:19 to go here in the third quarter.
I think it was a handball on Marco.
Oh, I heard that there was wrong 33. Sorry about that, folks. I was already feeling froggy enough to jump to Capelli, which is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Silva and Lawal. Cudis over to Dutra. Dutra into Mansoure. Look at the skill and the touch on Mansoure as he crosses that yellow line. And Lawal, not enough tapatio on the pass off the wall, looking for a Wallace scorer. For those who don't understand, that's a lexicon. If it comes off the wall and that's a one-timer, the wall can be your friend in a lot of cases here in the indoor game. Amadi gets by Powell, finds Pinal. Pinal, look at the save by Orozco as he dives on it as if his life depended on it. And one can say that it does, as the Strikers are here on the counter. Powell gets pushed off by Alves. Spur to Amadi. 1:17 remaining here in this third quarter. Spur.
Great save by Brian, Philly. I mean, 15 goals, but I can't think of one of the goals where the goalkeeper had a howler and it was just their error. You know what I mean? They both have played well. I mean, it's difficult to say when you've given up 15 goals in the game, but...
I mean, the amount of shots that a goalkeeper faces in the MASL, that could be in a game. Diaz's shot saved by Wilkin. What I was trying to get at is the amount of shots a goalkeeper will see in an indoor game be the same amount a keeper would probably see throughout the duration of his season. The pass to Belliard. Ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-lings it off the crossbar. Hernandez gets tripped up by Alves. The official's going to blow the whistle. 38.1 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Can lightning strike again for the Empire here in Toyota Arena as they look for the equalizer? They look for the tie. UCFC currently in the advantage, 8-7. Ball comes in from Berto to Orozco. Finds Fabian, and that's going to go right into the public address announcer's box. 25.1 seconds remaining.
Little even Steven on that goal. Philly, right? Berto missed a simple chance on there, and now Utica pays him back. So even Steven will Jerry Seinfeld.
I was going to say, I'm not entirely sure who Steven is, but thank you for the clarification. Wilkin off the wall to Tavares. Less than 10 seconds remaining. Alves. Perez gets in the way as DeAndrade was clear and found some space. That's going to come back to Wilkin. And what a performance by both teams. As we came out of the half, it has been another shootout here in the third quarter. UCFC had an answer for every Empire goal, and they go into the final quarter leading the home team by a score of 8-7.
Right back where we started the half. Just coming out. See, Brett Bryan just got twisted there, unfortunately. Blocks it off balance, hits the bar. Great for Pinal, just to kind of catch it. Again, right here. What a good finish that one was, just off the crossbar there. Good footy, good footy.
This has been an incredible game. We've seen so many goals between the two teams. We've got one more quarter to go, 15 minutes. So much more action to be had here under the bright lights at Toyota Arena. Folks, don't you dare go anywhere.
National Core, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion, this is your Empire.
Welcome to the Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Centre, where convenience meets comfort. Just 5 minutes from Ontario Airport and only 30 seconds from Toyota Arena, we are right in the heart of the IE and home to your Empire Strykers watch parties. Whether you're traveling, catching a game, or hosting your next big event, we have everything you need, from a full snack bar and pool to real-time flight tracking and flexible event spaces for groups of all sizes. Trusted by teams, fans, and the community, Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Centre is proud to be the Empire's most trusted hotel. KVCR invites you to an exciting night of soccer and community at Toyota Arena on Thursday, February 19th, as the Empire Strykers host KVCR Partner Theme Night against the Baltimore Blast. Connect with KVCR, celebrate public media, and experience the energy of professional soccer in the Inland Empire. Scan the QR code on your screen to claim your free tickets, or visit kvcr.org/strikers for more information.
New for 2026, staff writer Joseph Reyna and veteran coach Mark Litton explain the game with perspectives from both. Newest show, Soccer Signal, with in-depth data, analysis, comprehensive breakdowns, and exclusive interviews from coaches around the league. Don't miss Soccer Signal every Thursday on MASL TV. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube, and CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bastiabansky and Phil Levanco are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Disagree with a call tonight? You might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanco. There's that man again. And MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. In a cardiac emergency, every minute counts. Visit heart.org to learn what you can help become part of a nation of lifesavers.
Strykers fans, don't miss out on this season's Collector Strykers Passport. You can purchase your passport online and start collector stamps and autographs. Don't wait. Get your Collection Strykers Passport today. Soccer in 60 is your go-to source for pro soccer in Greater LA. For all things LAFC, LA Galaxy, Angel City, Orange County SC, and Empire Strykers, tune in live every Thursday at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490 AM, at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1270 AM, or anytime on the Empire Strykers YouTube or your favorite podcast player. Just search for Soccer in 60. Stay connected with the Empire Strykers all season long by downloading the official Empire Strykers app. From score and schedules to ticket and team updates, it's the easiest way to stay in the game. So don't wait. Download the Empire Strykers app now by scanning the QR code and never miss a moment of the action.
Folks, that was a lot of reads, and we had a lot of goals in the third quarter. 6 to be exact, and once again, UCFC led the way in terms of shots, 7 to the Empire 6, and 3 goals for each team. The lighting of the lamp has been a consistent story today, and we've seen some incredible moments and some incredible goals. And once again, Nilton DeAndrade adds so much to this UCFC team. Not traveling with the legendary Gordy Gerson, Nilton DeAndrade makes his return to this season. In his first game, he has put a dent in the Empire Strykers backline tonight.
Good ball movement, be patient. You know, just one goal down. Next goal, again, say it many times. Next goal is very critical.
I mean, we've seen so many goals in this game. I mean, both teams just battling so closely. And normally this season, it's been the Empire that has led in terms of shots.
You know, we talked about the travel to Philly. You know, the Utica got tilted quite a few times there in the third period. So interesting to see if they keep composed or if they continue to get tilted. If they do, the Strykers have a very good chance to catch them early.
Look at the attempt by Alves trying to catch Orozco outside of his box. We've seen goals from that distance in the past. Ali over to Chavez.
That's the Venus flytrap, though, on this. You know, you take that half-hearted chance. All it is a simple giveaway, and Brian's about to hit it.
He finds Fabian open. Fabian chips it. Kick saved by Wilkin. Mansoure has it. Another save. Diaz-Gonzalez, and Fabian denied once again by Wilkin.
Great goalkeeping. You know, tough to say in a 15-goal game, but, you know, Orozco pulled a save off over there. Wicked save. And now Wilkin with 2 off of a pretty good player named Marco Fabian.
Wilkin the Wicked, that's a good nickname for him, the way he's been denying the Empire here in his 6th season in the MASL. Started out with the Rochester Lancers. Played collegiately at Nazareth College, where he had a Spot 8-6, and look at the goal, the equalizer. Diaz Gonzalez, as he's done time and time and time and time. You get the gist, scores. It is now 8-8.
Again, catching him on the change, got a little tilted, and you know, Walter able to kind of just put it on his left peg. That's where the kid makes his money.
What a talent he has been. Last season, only in 3 games played, had 3 goals. This season, Walter Diaz Gonzalez is on fire. His 8th goal of the campaign, his 11th point of the season in 11 games, averaging a point a game. Out of Cuba, the pass into Amadi, almost with a quick answer, as UCFC has done time and time again. 16 goals, Artie. 16 goals, 16 goal calls. It's a wonder that either of us have a voice.
That's just amazing, amazing. You know, very fortunate for the Strykers there because they got a little caught and they had Tavares on the back stick for a tap in. So back and forth, back and forth. Here we go.
Where they stop, nobody knows. I'd love to know what the over and under would have been on this game. We've seen some high-scoring games between these two teams.
Etc., etc.
The pass in. Dutra backs it into Orozco. Tries to find Alami. There's DeAndrade, who in my opinion, the MVP of this game for Utica City FC.
He's done very well, very impactful. His technique is just superb.
One could only imagine how much more difficult and tough UCFC would have been had DeAndrade been there in the beginning of the season.
Well, no Gordy today. Hope he's healthy. But at the end, you know, it's going to come. There's another tight game for Utica. You know, they got to fight those demons. Got to finish this game.
Well, he's been plagued for a good part of the season. I mean, you watched that game against Milwaukee where he scored the goal and did his goal celebration. He grimaced in pain. Still came back on there. I mean, the adrenaline would have kept him going, but not sure if it's his ankle or whatever. He did not make the trip. Would have loved to have seen Gordy Gerson. Quite the personality and the all-time leading scorer in the history of Cedar Rapids and, of course, the Orlando Seawolves.
Indeed.
Somo with the touch. Hernandez into Chavez. So many players have contributed offensively today as the Strykers trying to connect with their talisman, Marco Fabian.
I'd be curious what the number is, but Marcos seems to be carried more shifts this game.
6 goals this season as a result of the one that he scored in the first half. Fabian gets a direct pass, tries to catch Wilkin, and that bounces off of Wilkin's gloves too. Fabian nearly had a goal of the month attempt there. Spurs got Shalier on the right. Shalier tries to walla it, but that's going to come off of Ali. And that's going to be a top-of-the-arc restart here with 10:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Just did you see, Marco, we talk about soccer IQ all the time in his transition, but soccer IQ right there, he just took his time, relied on his technique, didn't force it versus the giveaway earlier from Utica.
Shot, and that one gets blasted into the net in goalkeeper restart. Look, Artie, you and I think can agree that we've seen a lot of incredibly talented players make the transition from outdoor to indoor. We saw Jermaine Jones play for the Ontario Fury. We saw Landon Donovan play for the San Diego Sockers. But I don't think any outdoor players made that transition better than Marco Fabian has.
He's committed 100%. You know, I mean, not that the other players weren't committed, but clearly, I mean, he's just done so much for this team on and off the field.
Spur bats it. Shalier with the goal and the go-ahead. 9-8, Utica City FC. Are you kidding me?
We talked about it earlier in the game, that front panel, coming off that front panel, just being in the top, you know, the correct spot. So here, you know, watch him. He's here. He's a near post, and then as the ball floats, there.
So look at the pass from Willie Spur. In Shalier, Barbaro the Barbarian, shell-shocking Shalier absolutely silences the crowd here in Toyota Arena, 9-8. This is the highest scoring game we've called in quite some time, and a near turnover that could have been detrimental. Pinal bodies Orozco. The chip, oh, so close to being a highlight. Palmer getting in the way again, Rick. Into Diaz-Gonzalez, who scored the last goal for the Strikers, finds himself in a UCFC sandwich. Alaba, that one took a funny hit off the wall. No goal there as it hit the net.
I think Walter had Powell on the exit there had he got a chance to hit it. But we just saw the execution of the theory of inertia there with the running into Pinal.
The theory of inertia. I mean, you got your master's degree. Did you write a paper on the theory of inertia? That sounds very academic.
Yeah, something in motion shall remain in motion until met with an equal or greater force.
Well, all right. I didn't realize that you had the background in science that you do. I mean, wait, hold on. Didn't you do kinesiology back in the day, or am I thinking
my
else?
friend, I have a master's degree with the emphasis in sports management to back my political science degree, and sensory motor skill acquisition, which is the acquisition of motor skills and the underlying psychological influences. Shout out to Dr. Dano to help me in the oh, here we go.
I was going to say, como say what? As the pass comes into Mansoret. Ball is loose. Ali off the Omnitrans dasher. Perez to Fabian. Fabian with the touch. Another attempt and 2 blocked shots by UCFC. Ali Somo getting involved in things. He's going to look to be the recipient of the pass from Alan Perez. Artie, the longer I get to know you, the more I'm impressed by a political science major as well. So what you're saying is once the broadcasting and coaching career is done, you too are going to run for public office.
I can run for president in today's times, even with my checkered past.
I'm going to refrain from any other comments. I guess the better question would be if you were running for political office, would it be for Ontario, Rancho? So many incredible cities here, but you'd have to represent the Inland Empire. The most underrepresented region of this part of Southern California, which is why the Empire Strykers utilize the name Empire instead of the Ontario Fury, wanting to encompass the entirety of the Inland Empire, which is a huge region here, just outside of the LA area. Ontario, about 50 or so miles away from downtown Los Angeles, which in terms of driving traffic can mean 6 hours. Pinal, no party. Over to Genrick. Halfway through the fourth quarter. Pinal with 2 assists and a goal. Him along with Nilton DeAndrade, and of course Willie Spur, who's got a goal. As does Mershad Ahmadi. Gio Alves too. Space opening. That one. Another attempt saved by Orozco. Shalir. I mean, I'm looking down at that Utica lineup. Who hasn't scored? Chavez and Ahmadi kicks it all the way back to Albuquerque, New Mexico with that attempt, as that's going to send us to our final media timeout of the night. Utica City FC has had an answer against the Empire Strykers time and time again. And they're hanging on to this lead, hanging on by a thread with the way this game is going. 9-8 the score.
What a beautiful soul. I can't let it go. Beautiful soul roll from Andrade there on the setup. Just excellent footy. Love it. Just what a great exhibition of attacking football.
2 hungry teams looking to satiate those hunger pangs with a dub tonight. Back on the other side of this break, you're watching the MASL on MASL TV.
When your heart needs a helping hand, you want the best, most advanced treatment available. We know there's strength and expertise. That's why for over 50 years, we've been a trusted provider of heart and vascular care in the region, specializing in minimally invasive surgical techniques, from treating infants born with heart defects to performing complex endovascular procedures. Our specialists are here to support strong, healthy hearts. Loma Linda University International Heart Institute. Many strengths, one mission.
With 6 miles, runway 26 right, wait on.
By shopping the official Empire Strykers team store. From jerseys and hats to the latest team gear, everything you need to represent your favorite team is now available. Visit the team store online and gear up for the rest of the season. Stay connected with the Empire Strykers all season long by following the team on social media. Get the latest news, behind-the-scenes content, highlights, and updates all in one place. Follow the Empire Strykers on social media and stay part of the action. Please join us on Monday, February 16th at 6:35 p.m. as the Empire Strykers face the Milwaukee Wave here at Toyota Arena.
Gosh, you've already moved on to the next game. We still got 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining of this one. Shalier leading the charge on the counter. Had Willie Spur open moments ago. Shalier scored the last goal here. Walter Diaz-Gonzalez scored prior to that with Brian Orozco getting the assist. For Orozco, that's his second career multi-point game. Had 2 assists in a game against San Diego back on November the 28th. Orozco off the wall to Palmer. Palmer tries to find Alami. Closed out defense by Toy Tavares. Look at the speed by Ali Somo. Strykers are looking for Tarjeta Azul, and the blue card is assessed.
Yeah, he just killed a goal-scoring chance. I mean, that was a tough one. That he had no chance to catch him.
Utica number 30 stopping a promising attack.
That's going to go against Juan Alava. Strykers now in the position for a power play.
I mean, he had no chance. I mean, he had to fully commit here to get it because, I mean, if you're on the recovery, he's going 1v1. That's a tough, and speed was going to prevail. So, you know, you gamble and sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. That time he didn't.
So Brian Orozco's going to head to the bench. Coming back on, we see Robert Palmer putting on that 6th attacker jersey, and Orozco's going to head on over to the Pine Pony in a few moments, where the Strykers are going to utilize that super extra attacker, trying to find the equalizer. Diaz-Gonzalez, who scored today, has contributed offensively, as has the Stinger. Strykers looking for a goal out of Munir Alami. He does have an assist today. Fabian into Mansoure. Mansoure got the Strykers going in the early moments of this game. And that's going to be a foul against the Strykers on Mansoure.
Abdul's got to keep moving the ball there. Got caught. Thankfully, there was a foul for the Strykers because they were going to be numbers down on a counter, even though they're on the power play.
Mansoure not only played soccer in college in the United States, also competed in track in Wilmington University.
Got a 3-line pass, Philly.
Explain that one to the newbies tuning in tonight.
So there's 3 lines. You've got the yellow line, the white, the mid line, and then the attacking yellow line. If the ball passes from the defending third beyond the attacking third yellow line, it's a free kick from the top of the yellow.
So what you're saying is that's indoor soccer's version of icing?
Indeed, sir.
Hockey reference there. The pass into Fabian. Saved by Wilkin. Another attempt by Fabian. Too spicy by Marco.
Bro, you could hear that up here, the way he hit that first one. It was crazy. All this crowd, and Marco's hit of the ball is still echoed up here.
I mean, I thought he was going to knock the stitch out of that miter. Under 6 remaining. We've had ourselves a classic here on this Thirsty Thursday. Which team will celebrate their happy hour? Thus far, it's Utica City FC, looking to break that 3-game losing streak. Can the Strykers find an answer? Still so much time to be had. Alami, as he fights against Toy Tavares, into Diaz-Gonzalez. Fabian has it. Orozco's going to head to the bench. Palmer is in, the extra attacker with under a minute remaining here this power play. Stinson's attempt, that one clanks off the boards. Into Fabian. Fabian finds his captain. Palmer back over to the Stinger. Stinson thought about teeing it up. Over to Marco. Marco with 1 goal already today. Goes back to Stinson, trying to spread things out. Palmer, who finds Mansoure, tries to thread it through. Alves gets in the way. And that one takes a couple of ding-dongs off a few players. Under 30 seconds remaining in this power play. UCFC looking for the penalty kill. The Strykers do have a power play goal today. Fabian. The shot, another save by Wilkin the Wicked. 15 to go in this power play. Pass into Stinson. Stinson's going to tee up off of Alves. UCFC standing tall. Stinson chips it into the air. Chested by Alves. Into Tavares. He's got DeAndrade. UCFC successfully kills this penalty. The penalty kill line of UCFC took care of business, but Fabian has Salami with space. And a goal! Marco! With the goal! The equalizer, 9-9.
We talked about it earlier today. A team is most exposed, or exposed very much so immediately after killing a penalty because they think they've got it done, and before they can make the proper changes because they've got defenders on there, they get caught. And again, Alami with just great movement, very unselfish for Munir. And a rather simple goal, but a result of just lapse in the concentration on the changes for Utica.
4:15 remaining, 9-9, 18 goals between the two teams. What a joy it's been presiding over this broadcast here. Pinal with Dutra on him. Over to Genrick. Belliard, who also has a goal today. I mean, at this point, with all the players we have down on the turf, you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who hasn't contributed something offensively. Over to Toy Tavares. Tavares to Belliard. Belliard to Alava. Tries to find Pinal in the attack zone. Look at the defense by Polo, denying Amadi as he teed off. Mansoure to Lawal. Look at the contact between Lawal and Tavares. That's a foul. Both players going down. Doesn't look like we have a card, but that was some contact.
Very physical. It'll be interesting to see the replay here. Like who fell, kind of coming in.
And Tavares still down on the deck. I mean, he took himself one heck of a hit.
That's as close as you can get to who makes contact on the ball first.
As UCFC's trainer, Hannah Bisak, out on the turf, she's going to help up Tavares. That's the second time that Bisak has had to come out there. Early on in the opening moments of the first half, UCFC lost Steven Teixeira to an injury. And Hannah Bisak getting her name mentioned a couple of times today. I mean, the last thing that any team wants is their trainer's name being announced on the broadcast. But Tavares is back up on his toes, so it doesn't look like they're going to lose him today.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. Almost a drop ball needed right there. What do you think Sigic thinks?
Well, check out the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review. Ryan Sigic and Phil Levanko. Phil Levanko's got himself a heck of a lot of shows. And that's all worth it. A legend in his own right. Also a fellow product of Queens, New York. Him being from Bayside, me being from Forest Hills.
Were you a Socia or a greaser?
Well, I'm too young to truly know what that means. Artie, that is a good reference. I'll tell you, I was just trying to find a way to poke fun at the fact that you're older than me, because usually it's the other people that I broadcast with that poke fun at my age.
Well, I can unequivocally claim to be a greaser in any environment that I was in. I'm proud of it.
Well, you and I are just both punks with a mic.
All caps, exclamation.
Exclamation point. Lols. Stinson chips it over to Wilkin. Wilkins had himself a heck of a game. He's made some tremendous saves as that one comes off Amadi. As he looks into the skies, looked like he was begging for forgiveness with the soccer gods. The soccer gods have blessed both teams today, though, offensively.
I'll tell you what, I mean, it's Super Bowl, coming up to Super Bowl weekend. This could be very much who has the last possession, huh, to finish this game off.
Oh, that's right. Totally forgot that was going on. Just kidding. Still a little bitter that the Seahawks beat the Rams. Is Ali Somo using the wall to his favor. Santos chipped by Wilkin. Back over to Santos.
But you got Pinal working hard back there.
Pinal's just
very good work.
He's such an impressive player in so many regards. That should be a t-shirt. No Pinal, no party. I would buy it. Fabian over to Palmer. Will this game go into overtime? We'll explain those rules should we get there. Still anybody's game. Anything can happen. As the band Europe in the 80s once said, it's the final countdown. If you're not chewing on your nails, you still got some cuticles remaining. Who's it gonna be? Will UCFC upset the home team, or will the Empire strike back? It's anybody's guess. Fabian eyeing himself a hat trick. Palmer over to Diaz-Gonzalez, who scored today against Pinal. Fires it, saved by Wilkin. Santos with the header, recovered by Alami. Back to Diaz-Gonzalez. Under a minute to go. Now we truly are down to the final countdown. Palmer in the midfield. To his line mate, Diaz-Gonzalez. Off the wall to Palmer. Palmer with the back heel. Tried to find Fabian. Amati gets in the way. De Andrade splices through the defense. Kick saved by Orozco. Pinal fires it, saved by Orozco. Another attempt. De Andrade with the go-ahead goal. The fire from Pinal almost put out by Orozco, but Nilton De Andrade in his return to UCFC, his first game back, puts UCFC up. It is now 10-9.
I'll tell you what, that's a wicked left foot, and just De Andrade just staying into it, you know, following up on the spills. A great, I mean, again, no goalkeeper error anywhere in this game tonight. Just everyone playing well, everyone scrambling. Great opportunity for Utica, but guess what, Philly? 31.9 seconds, that's an eternity here, especially for these strikers who score with under 5 seconds a number of times.
Well, at this point, the Strikers have their backs against the wall, and nothing is more aggressive than a wounded animal as they're looking to claw their way back in. Alami's going to motion for timeout, and we're going to situate ourselves right here, 31.9 seconds. Artie, let's talk about the impact of Nilton De Andrade.
Just amazing. Just, you know, his technique, his calmness on the ball, his leadership. That soul roll he did earlier in the third quarter just shows the caliber and level of this play. And I'll tell you what, Philly, this might be another opportunity to throw that bet out real quick to see what the over-under is on how many opportunities the Strikers are going to get in this last 30 seconds.
No kidding. The fourth point of the game for De Andrade. Scored in the second quarter, courtesy of Pinal. Scored with 31 seconds remaining. It was Pinal once again. And I asked Junior about the chemistry that he has with some of his teammates, and thought he had a lot of it with Gio Alves coming into this game, but it's clear that those ionic compounds, if we're going to talk science and chemistry here, really exist between Pinal and Nilton De Andrade.
It's just been a spectacular night. I'm looking down, I see Tim Goldman, you know, the second recipient of the Joseph Kyrell Award, and this is a game Joseph would have loved. He and I would always talk about, Pops, you know, you want a 2-1 game or do you want a 10-9 game? And Joseph was all over the 10-9 game, so his spirit is living here, and Goldman, what a great young man, be here to watch this. Excellent footy across the board. What an entertaining game tonight.
Highly entertaining. And I made the comment in jest, but now I'm serious. If you don't find any excitement in this, you don't have a pulse. And by the way, once again, shout out to the American Heart Association. Play with heart today.
Undoubtedly. Are you kidding me?
Both teams playing with an incredible amount of hearts. In fact, I'm feeling mine right now.
Mine's
it's about 180 beats per minute.
You can see it in my forehead. My heart beats in my forehead watching this dang thing.
Oh, is that that thing that's pulsating out of there?
Hey, easy there, big fella.
Family friendly, I get it.
Safe sport.
Strikers, you said it, an eternity. 30 seconds remaining. They're going to pull the keeper, Palmer, who's contributed significantly on the offensive side with the assists. Second in the league last season, under 20 to go. Strikers trying to find their opening. Stinson, look at the defense by Cole Stevens. That one has the distance, doesn't have the trajectory. It does not, under 10. Palmer, Strikers are gonna have to operate quick. Doesn't look like they're gonna be able to fire one off, barring a miracle. There it is, over to Mansourate. He just can't get the touch, and there's the final horn. Utica City FC comes in to the Inland Empire, into Toyota Arena, and absolutely puts one heck of a performance on the scoreboard and on the score sheets. They defeat the Empire Strykers by a score of 10-9, ending their 3-game losing streak.
This is one of those games where, you know, you hate to see someone drop the points because from an entertainment value, from a footy perspective, just borderline spectacular. Borderline spectacular of all the stuff we saw from players from both teams. And almost here at the end, he was there. Man, oh golly, what a good game.
I mean, we're seeing some incredibly talented emerging superstars. We talked about Junior Pinal in front of family and friends. He had a significant impact in this ball game. But once again, Nilton DeAndrade really was the difference maker today. You look at what UCFC could have done this season if they had Nilton, and you're talking about a whole different record. And this is a team that you're going to have to watch out for. And this is without Gordy Gerson. Gerson, a goal-scoring machine, back on the turf with players as highly talented as DeAndrade. And, oh, my gosh, just watch out. MASL UCFC is the team to look out for.
I'll tell you what, you know, when you get a player of that caliber that just with their touches just give you confidence. You know, you give him a hot pass, collects it cleanly. You give him a pass off rhythm, settles it, gets you back in rhythm. Opportunities to score, finds a way to score, finds the free guy to score goals for the assist. I mean, those are the types of things that you build on. And, you know, Coach Everton, he's definitely, you know, he's got his guys. They're always well coached and just a testament to both teams. But at the end of the day, you could see they just grinded it out.
I mean, the game got started off by a goal by Abdul Mansoure. Utica City FC would score. Less than 2 minutes later, Kyle Genrich would get the goal, assisted by Nilton DeAndrade, a part of the offensive attack with the point. Then he puts the nail in the Strykers' coffin with the goal, assisted by Junior Pinal. And as we said in our pregame show, the record coming into today for Utica City FC not indicative of how talented this squad is. And we're going to hear from head coach of UCFC, Everton Moreira, and ask him a couple of questions. Just waiting for the logistics to be positioned logically here. But again, what an effort for the boys from upstate New York. So just waiting. All right, folks, we're joined by head coach of Utica City FC, Everton Moreira. Coach, what an incredible game. This might go down as one of the games of the season in the Major Arena Soccer League. I want to start off by asking you your overall thoughts on today's performance.
I did not hear anything.
So it sounds like we're having some technical difficulties. Coach, can you hear me? If so, raise your hand. Doesn't look like he's hearing me. Raise your hand if you can hear me, Coach. Folks, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Hang on 1 second. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
All right. First and foremost, congratulations on the performance. 10-9 the score. We've had ourselves a shootout. This could go down as one of the games of the season in the Major Arena Soccer League this year. First and foremost, your thoughts on the overall performance.
No, thank you very much. No, it was a great game for both teams. Both teams played really hard. You know, like a high-scoring goals. I really believe that's obviously that's what the crowd wants to see. That's what the league likes to see as well. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of my team. You know, my players they've been working extremely hard. I have a young team, but man, these guys they grind. You know, and so you know, see them come out here. Come traveling and defend the way how they did and perform the way how they did. It was really good and makes me absolutely proud.
Now, we mentioned this, you and I had the opportunity to speak before the game. I'd walked by Nilton DeAndrade in passing. I thought it was Gio Alves. I didn't know that Nilton made the trip. This is his first game back this season, but what a performance he had today. He had the assist on the first goal for you guys, the Kyle Genrich goal, and then the nail in the coffin. Talk about how important he is to your overall team dynamic and attack.
Nilton grew a lot with the team along with us since the first season. You know, he's a true leader. Obviously, he's been very, very hungry to play. You know, like it was unfortunate injury that he had. He broke his foot. You know, like he's been working hard. He was cleared last month, and I really can see the frustration to not be able to play. So when he got the call to come and play in this game, I knew he would perform really well. I knew he would deliver everything that he could, and he did. I mean, it was a great performance by him, the entire team as well. He's been supporting the team a lot, so he's very important for us. Like I said, he's a true leader, becoming very, very important for us.
Part of the Cape Verde contingent that you have here. I don't think there's any team in the United States that has more Cape Verde representation here. You had a total team performance today. Obviously, we talked about Nilton, but then Junior Pinal also contributed. He was so excited to be back in California, by the way, playing in front of 15 friends and family. Talk about his performance today.
Now, Junior's been a monster, man. He's, that kid's very strong. He's very fast. He's been working extremely hard, especially at practice, to become a better defender. He's learning how to defend in indoor soccer. It's not an easy thing to do. The boards play a huge factor in the game, and he's been working extremely hard to get better. But offensively, we know how dangerous he is. How he steps up, how angry he gets when he loses, that's really good, because it fires up the other players as well. But overall performance, everybody was extremely important today. I had to make changes because there was, Stefan, he ended up rolling his ankle early in the game, so we had to sacrifice some players, change some positions, and all along the game we have to keep changing positions, and players were adapting. They were very disciplined. They responded really well. They delivered with a lot of heart, so I couldn't be happier.
Now, you broke that 3-game losing streak. You went up against a very tough Empire team at home that have looked really good against the likes of Kansas City and San Diego. What does tonight's performance say to you as a head coach about where the team is heading? You mentioned it that you haven't hit your peak yet. Is this the beginning of the ascent in your opinion?
Yeah, no, it was absolutely a must-win for us. Not only because they streak, but also because we are trying to catch up in points the teams that is ahead of us, and the one that is ahead of us is Empire. So we knew how important this game would be. So we've been preparing. We've been working extremely hard in order to perform at our peak. I still believe that there is a lot of room for us to improve. Like our players. They're great soccer players. Some of them are great soccer players, some of them are great futsal players, but not yet they have, some of them don't even have 20 games on their belt, so mistakes gonna happen. We have to be patient. Obviously it's hard to be patient because it's not too long of a season, so we have to make sure that we deliver everything that we practice. But this game was very, very, very important for us. Very important for us. The players knew that, and they were able to just go and deliver.
Congratulations on the win. This is a hard-fought game, a classic 19 goals between the two teams. The last thing I'm going to say to you, Coach, is you roll in from Utica to L.A. wearing that suit and tie. You're looking really Hollywood today.
Oh man, oh thank you. No, it was great. It's always great to be here in California. It's always great to be here, at the home field of the Empire Strykers. It's it's a great atmosphere, great field. The crowd is always behind the team. Obviously, when you play against, you can feel that. So I like to play with the crowd against us sometimes. So it's always great to be here. Thank you very much. It was great to see you. You look amazing, by the way, with the red suit. I need to buy one of those to be on the bench. But it was great. Thank you so much.
You know what they say, Coach? Flattery will get you everywhere. Again, congratulations on the performance today, and good luck down at Front Wave Arena. You take on San Diego in just a couple of days.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night.
Folks, you've just heard from head coach of Utica City FC, Everton Moreira. Coach, and I'm talking to you, Artie Kyrell. Just what a performance. What's your overall assessment on what you saw tonight between the two teams?
I mean, from an entertainment value, obviously it speaks for itself. From a goal-scoring situation, both teams are got to be fully satisfied. But at the end of the day, both teams gave up 10 and 9 goals respectively for the victor. So there's definitely some stuff to work on and definitely some stuff to address before the next game for both teams.
All right, folks, we're going to come back after this short break. The final score, though, Utica City FC 10, Empire Strykers 9. Back in a moment, final stats. You've watched the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV and KVCR PBS.
Hello, Empire Nation. I am Martina Sellers, the CEO of Marcel Wellness Center, and I am so excited to announce this amazing partnership with the Empire Strykers on Score a Lunch with a Striker.
So the students can qualify. We have 3 pillars. So for their academics, their character, and their perseverance. All right, kids, so work hard so that you can get those entries in. Maybe you'll get to meet Coach O.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. I hope to see you guys at the game.
National Core, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion. This is your Empire.
Where Utica City FC defeated the Empire Strykers by a score of 10-9. Let's take a look at those final stats, Artie. This was a very evenly played game. You look at the fouls. Obviously, that's a bit of a difference maker, but between shots, goals, saves, very equal on both fronts.
Well, we talked about it earlier in the game. The big hit on Brian. They came to play today. There was a lot of checking going through the middle third of the floor. I mean, they were definitely sending a message to be physical. Typical East Coast team coming in and imposing themselves upon the Strykers. Strykers responded well, but at the end of the day, Utica had an advantage or a definite thought to make this a little more physical game. Obviously, when you're playing a team of youngsters that want to run, you got to fatigue them, and you have it all the time when a kid says, I've been running 20 miles a day. I said, well, once you get knocked on your butt once, that costs for that's 8 miles right there to pick yourself up. So they were definitely imposing their will physically and trying to drain the Strykers. So very good. We talked about it earlier. Coach Everton's a very good coach. Did a great job. You just heard from his commentary. He's a guy with a clear plan, a clear vision, and clear understanding of what he's got and how to move forward. So they just knocked them up.
Yeah, the Strykers put on a Herculean effort in the fourth quarter. They had 13 shots to Utica City's 6. 29 shots between the two teams. Utica City FC would end up with the win. For the Strykers, this was the most goals allowed this season. The previous high was 8 in their last game against the Baltimore Blast. For a team that's had a very low goals against average, they really conceded a lot today.
I think the key was the ability of Utica to continually move the ball in dangerous lines. There's a tendency when you play against, you're playing against this sitting in defense to kind of hold and just go side to side or maybe go vertical, and drop. But they were moving the ball at angles to score, and like we talked to Coach Obasi at the halftime, they're pressing those numbers, those off-angle numbers, and they found them regularly. So I thought that's what they did very effectively. They connected their passes with purpose. They were definitely a team with purpose.
A team with purpose, and look, for Utica City FC, they get to enjoy the evening, but it's not going to be any easy feat as they head down to Oceanside Front Wave Arena, where they take on the San Diego Sockers on Saturday. For the Empire Strykers, they're going to have a little bit of a break before they too go down to Oceanside to take on the Sockers. That's going to be on February the 15th. Their next home game is going to be on President's Day as they welcome the Milwaukee Wave. And as we welcome the Milwaukee Wave, we'll welcome back our sideline correspondent, Amanda the Panda Filliman. Folks, that's going to do it for us here. On behalf of myself, Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, the coach, Artie Kyrell, shout out to our statistician extraordinaire, Jason Hernandez, and our incredible broadcast crew. We want to say thank you so much for tuning into this presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV and KVCR PBS. We want to wish you a happy Thursday night. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a fabulous weekend.
Here for giggles. Here for support. Here for healing. Here for courage. Here for moments. San Antonio Regional Hospital. Here for life.
Today in America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges, and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, we are changing lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
With 6 miles, runway 26 right, cleared on.